from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South and Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Verdia, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, when you back today.
Spoon TV.
Yes, when you back today.
Spoon TV. Spoon
Ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba. Skiddy-biddy-biddy-da-ba-do.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Good. Say good today. Good today.
On the spoon to get
Yes,
your information.
Well,
On the spoon to be
yes,
Spoon television.
yes,
Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South and Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon.
Okay. A pleasant good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to yet another thunderstrucking edition of
Liberia.
your premier nighttime show
Gonna tell you what is happening.
in Liberia,
Yeah.
the Spoon Talk.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening.
This evening it promises to be very, very interesting as usual. So wherever you are and whatever you are doing, I urge you to please invite someone to listen and view alongside you, because as usual it's going to be very, 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 very informative and analytical. So let's now go over to the team there, Dr. Richardson and James Good Day Flomo, to kickstart the program. Good evening, Doc and James.
Hello, Yakasi. Hello, good day. How you guys doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Good morning, me. Everything is great.
That's good. Good to hear that you guys are alive and staying strong and ready to do the work of the Liberian people. Uh, so, what's going on in Liberia before we welcome our audience? Any current trend, any popular news that we're supposed to inform our audience about?
Yes, in Liberia, momentum is building up for the CDC's rally on tomorrow. As you may know, the CDC will be having a petitioning ceremony at the Antoinette Totman Stadium, the ATS,
Mhm.
in Monrovia, yeah, to petition President George Weah to recontest for the second time. So the momentum is building up. We are seeing um, trucks with speakers mounted on them, throughout the city. Um, Seditions carrying on, public awareness about this occasion. They are mobilizing into, the various canons of Monrovia. Yeah, and they are saying that they're going to ensure that the stadium is choked up. They're going to fill up the stadium with 1 million supporters or partisans of the CDC, though the ATS itself doesn't have the capacity to hold 1 million people. I think it doesn't even hold more than 40,000 people, but they said they're going to ensure that happens. So serious mobilizations are going on right now, especially today. Serious mobilizations have been going on. But the strange thing about the CDC mobilization now, comparing it to before, is that right now you see them distributing T-shirts all over the place. Unlike yesterday, when the CDC was in the opposition, when they called for a rally, you see people printing their own T-shirts. They don't care whether they give them T-shirts. I mean, they take their own money uh, to print their own T-shirts, and you see the self willingness in them, to go there. But it seems that things are different. We don't see, the self willingness. I know there are others who are doing it voluntarily, but the numbers cannot be compared to before. And also, the Unity Party released a press statement just today, and the press statement is relative to Senator Prince Johnson's alarm on yesterday, where he alarmed that he's got intelligence, or the party, the MDR, has gotten some intelligence that uh, some members of the CDC, wants to have him assassinated, due to his current stand against them. So the Unity Party responded to that and called it on the CDC to respond to the allegation coming from Senator Prince Johnson, because it's a grave, grave, grave allegation, that borders on the security of the country, especially so as we gear up towards the, October 10 elections. So they are calling on the CDC, to come up to speak to this allegation. And just about a little over an hour ago, I saw a release from Mr. Alexander Cummins. He was talking about the CDC's promise to create 1 million jobs in the country within 5 years, and it's more than 5 years now. The CDC, according to him, is yet to, create more than 1 million jobs. So he was pushing this own campaign out there that if the Liberian people vote him, he's going to create more jobs. He's going to bring investors into the country. He's not just going to bring investors, but he's going to create an environment where Liberians themselves, especially Liberian businesses, are going to be empowered, where Liberians are going to, produce their own commodities to be exported out of the country. And out of that, and just to divert from politics a little bit, today CRC Credible released his newest single, and he calls it "God Don't Give Up on Me." And it's a music that everybody's going for right now. It's a mix of colloquial jargons and church vibes. So those are basically some of the trending happenings in the country now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Legacy. That's a lot of news to unpack. Liberians, you just heard some of the training thoughts from Yekazi. We're going to go over to James Goodday and let him add his thoughts to the training events in Liberia. James Goodday?
Yeah. Basically, yeah, guys, you said, oh,
Oh, okay. Good,
yeah.
good, good. All right. So we are going to move into just again, lots of things are happening as usual in Liberia. The schedule for today, as we wait for the panelists to join us, we are having uh, Councillor Verdia will be our guest today. We're going to speak to him for at least an hour. He's going to come in and introduce himself, discuss current trends, and then we're going to have questions from the panelists to Councillor Verdia. And and we're going to go and move over to again elaborate as a panelist discussion about the current events that are happening in Liberia right now. So that would be the time for us to review and go over some of the things that Yegesi said. There's a lot of interesting things that are happening in Liberia. So we have an opportunity to just filter it through our lens and provide that to you Liberians so that you can, be informed about the news in Liberia. We want to thank you for joining us today. This is Spoon Network. You could have made a choice to be anywhere today, but you made a choice to be here to engage and participate in decisions, information, in events that are going on in Liberia. So I want to thank you for joining us. I'm going to welcome some of you, no particular order to the show. So I'm actually just using, let me just see, let me go to which okay, I'm going to actually go to Jonathan James first. Um, he's here. I'd like to welcome you, Jonathan James, to the program. I also like to welcome Kamara Elul to the program. I'd like to welcome T. Mark Mendler. He's actually coming to us from Wiyala, Magibi County. Again, T. Mark Mendler, thank you for coming from Wiyala, Magibi County. I want to give a shout out to all of those who are in Magibi County, Wiyala. Um, I want to also say hello to Ibrahim Salomon Rogers. Thank you very much for being here today. Leah Da Patrick Sampon, she's also here. I want to say thank you to you. Bito Davis is here. Thank you, Bito David. Thomas G. Colley is also here. Thomas, thank you. John S. Cohn is here today. Thank you. Joel Tucker is also here. Joel Tucker, he's here today. Thank you. Lami Ojuku Kamo is watching us from Broadville. You know exactly where that is. Moulton Corner. Moulton Corner. Thank you for being here. I know exactly where Moulton Corner is in Broadville. I'm just having some imagination of that place. Um, Good country, good place. Jacob Fallow Yuma is also here from Barnard Farm, Painesville, Liberia. Jacob, thank you for being here today as well. And all of those who are in Barnard Farm, Painesville, we want to just thank you and appreciate that you are following us today. Siaka Masali is watching us from Dubai. We got Dubai in the house today as well. Spoon Network is widespread. Siaka, thank you for being here. Um, let's see, Momo Nelson is here. Thank you, Nelson, Momo Nelson. Minister Thomas B. Houch is here from Rwanda. We got Dubai in Rwanda. Thank you. I want to say hello to all of those who are in Rwanda listening to the program. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your time. Khalid Joseph is from Germany. We got Dubai. We got Germany. We got Rwanda. We got Liberia. Margibi County, Bravo. So we have a lot of people following us from different places. Thank you so much. And David Brooker actually is from Newark, New Jersey. Dulo Dulo is also here. Thank you, Dulo Dulo. Morris Carr is here from Guinea Bissau. Wow. Guinea Bissau is in the house. To all of you Liberians and other nationals that are listening to Spoon Network in Guinea Bissau, we say thank you and we say hello to you. Vera S. Wallace. Hello, Vera. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Siku M. Sheriff is here. He says, hello, family. Hello to you, Siku. It's good to have you. Kardargus, I think I'm saying your name correctly, is also from Dubai. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Augustine Augustine Fire from Ross City, Texas. Texas is in the house. We want to tell you thank you very much for being here as well. Shedrick Garland is here from Maryland County. All of those who are in Maryland County, we want to tell you thank you. We appreciate you being here. Maryland County is in the house. Uh, Tipos PK Dempster is here. Thank you very much for being here. Sylvester Blamo is from Broward again. Thank you so much. Uh, Someone is telling me to clean up my closet. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you so much. Uh, uh, Prayer Bull, Councilor Bull is here. Thank you, Councilor Bull. We wish you well. We heard about your son here, and we hope that you are progressing well today. Sylvester Blamo is here from Broville. We thank you very much. Mackenzie Door is here. He says hello. Mondem Melvin is also here. He says hello as well. You can see watching Dawson is saying that you're really good. You need to be on BBC. It sounds like she likes hearing you here. So
Thank you.
yeah. Uh, Freeman Sampon is here watching from Liberia. And Cornelius Hunter. Hi, Mr. Hunter. It's good to see you. Cornelius is a big brother of mine. Grew up together in Bon Mines. It's always good to see you here. Call Gloria Voca Molba is always here. Call, thank you for your consistent support in telling me hello. Thank you very much, Call. Moses G. Munka is here from Zorland Community, SD Cooper Road. I don't know if I know what SD Cooper Road is. I may know, but I can't remember it. But all of those who are in Zorland Community, join us. Come and engage in the conversation. SD Cooper Road in the house. Thank you so much. Lei Vakaba K. Diomendi is here. Teresa Fatima is also here. Seku Omen Talawali is also here. Masa Rix is here. Aliyah Kamara is also here. Amadou Kamara is also here. I think we'll stop here. I want to just welcome all of those who are here today. I want to ask you to please share the show, share the program. We appreciate you being here today. It's going to be a spirited, interactive conversation with Councilor Verdia. And then we're going to go on and discuss current trends relating to Liberia. We're waiting for the other panelists to join me. But before that happens, we want to just again welcome you to Spoon Network. So did you guys have any other thing? Let's talk until I know the panelists will be joining us soon. I did get information that a couple of them are running late from work. So it sounds like as soon as Councilor Verdia gets on the phone, Yakasi, can you just let me know a good day? As soon as we can get him on the phone, just let me know. Well, it sounds like Monrovia is very busy right now. I saw pictures of Monrovia. I don't know, James, good day if you have the video you want to just share with our, if we have the rights to do that, you can share some of the video of what Monrovia looks like as we wait for the panelists.
Let,
And then,
let, let me get it downloaded.
okay, and then we'll listen to it again. But so Monrovia is on fire, from what I understand. There's a lot of preparation that is going on today. The city is turning blue, from what I hear. It's going to be interesting. The CDC petitioning ceremony is tomorrow, as Yakesi told us. Many questions, many thoughts. So we will talk about that a little later. But I saw a couple of videos on social media about banners being put around the country, and also I think there was a video with a lot of people with brooms running. I don't know. Did you guys see that video running somewhere? I don't know where they were running, but it's gonna be interesting. Apparently, the petition ceremony is for the re-election. I mean, yes, the re-election of President We are to continue servicing the people of Liberia in his current capacity as president. So the partisans of CDC will be petitioning him to continue serving as president of the CDC. I don't know if the coalition or if it's Congress, because we know the coalition has some issues.
Yeah,
Yes. Yesterday it was very telling when we had that discussion
yeah,
about the, the burning sector that didn't sign the agreement. We have the Prince Johnson sector that didn't also sign the agreement, and so we don't know who's going to be petitioning the president. But we'll find out. We'll find out as the days go by, and also as tomorrow, maybe we'll get a sense of who signed the petition. But any thoughts on that? You can see what were you thinking? Did you have any?
yes. Yeah, so like you were saying, it's not yet clear as to whether, it is the coalition that will be, petitioning the president tomorrow, because there has been, some misunderstanding within the coalition of recent. Like I read an article of recent that says, county coordinators of the National Patriotic Party, were aggrieved. They weren't satisfied about the role given them, to play in the president's petition ceremony. So they threatened to boycott the ceremony, and they even called on their chairman, James Banney, and they called on the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, um, you know, not to attend this ceremony until, there are a kind of rule, that's a satisfactory rule can be given them. So we are looking to see whether, the vice president, whether James Bannon, the chairman of the NPP, is going to adhere to the call of the, county coordinators of the NPP.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yekesi, we'll see, how will the vice president respond tomorrow, whether she's going to go with the call of the president of the country, with the call of CDC, or whether she's going to go with the call of her party. So this is kind of where we are. There's so many crossroads that are happening right now. The crossroad is who's going to petition President We are right now. Is it going to be petitioned by the Congress of Democratic Change or the Coalition for Democratic Change, or is it going to be, or is the vice president going to follow her party and wait and not go to the petitioning ceremony, or is she going to follow her party? So those are all questions that time when the time can answer that question right now. I see James is ready. We want to share with you some of the current videos of Monrovia that's happening right now. We'll probably come back to that because we're going to go back into having more in-depth discussions about it. So James, you want to just go ahead and just tell us
Where
what.
it here? They are know where I'm coming from. Look at it here. You can't you begging me to wear it here. You looking for poor now. Amen. All the people are coming was out today. They did the other people to come and then they join them again. For who are not the right here. I'm going to lay down to my door. I'll clean my foot before I enter. Where it here? They are know where I'm coming from. Look at it here. You can't you begging me to wear it here. You looking for poor now. Amen. All the people are coming was out today. They did the other people to come and then they join them again. For who are not the right here. I'm going to lay down to my door. I'll clean my foot before I enter.
Interesting. This is what is going on in Liberia. On the one hand, we have a video of someone who is telling us that T-shirts were given to that person, and they are now, in his words, paraphrasing, they are now begging, giving T-shirt, and I think kind of consistent with what you're saying. You can see that
Yeah.
before it was that self-willingness. We could see that
Yes. Yeah.
self-willingness. People were using their own money, they were printing their own T-shirts, they were just into the ideology of CDC, which was giving hope to our young people. But this time around, we are seeing things that are a little different, especially that video. That video. So, any thoughts about the video? You can see, and then good day. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's just in line with what I said. The CDC has actually been campaigning for more than a month now for tomorrow. So it tells you that they have been reaching out into various communities and asking people to go and vote. But this wasn't the case before. Before the CDC, I know some level of mobilization and awareness, would go on, but not a massive one as it is being done today. Once the CDC announce a rally or a gathering, I mean, people will willingly or voluntarily, assemble, pay their way, print their own t-shirts, go there and participate. But apparently, the scenario is changing or has changed. Where they have to mobilize massively before the president's petition ceremony. So it all points to you know what they have done, or um, the level of satisfaction the Liberian people are, with the government, the workings of the government.
Absolutely. Yes, James, good day. Any thoughts about the first video? And then you guys will have to kind of elaborate on the second video for me, because I was I was confused, because when I see broom, when I see broom, I think about Teon Gonglo. So I got a little bit confused with the broom. So you guys can elaborate for me on that.
Yeah, what CDC doing now is normal, specifically during elections period in Liberia. But the strange part of it, or the news, is the CDC that is doing it. Yeah, we saw it in 2017. People wore Liberty Party shirt. As soon as they got through with what they were doing, what they got from there, they took off their Liberty Party shirt and they were left with President Mane shirt on them during the 2017 elections. We saw that. So uh, in Liberia, we call it transfer. When Dr. Richardson is launching her rally, I will go there and get my little token. And when Yekezi is launching, I will go. But specifically, I'm with Kev Hassan. But I will go to all of these people, places, Ben Seven, Peabody, Dr. Richardson, Yekezi. I will attend all of those rallies. By the end of the day, my main base is Kev Hassan base. So it is normal. Since 2011, we have been going through the 2005. We did not see much of it, but since 2011, it has been the gameplay in politics, and it got serious in 2017. So CDC was not really at the heart of it in 2017. CDC was not at the heart of it. CDC had organic members who used to print their own T-shirt. Everything in our community. Then I was living on a tour street. We used to see everywhere on the tour street people printing their own shirt. As soon as you carry a white T-shirt, black, yellow, red, they just put CDC President Manuel picture on it. Then he was not a president. He was just a candidate during 2011. So these things happen, but the news is the unusual part, and the unusual makes the news. That is CDC now going out to facilitate what their supporters used to do to other people. Seditionists used to go attend events. After all, they run to their party headquarters and say, we are back on base. But now CDC is going in the community to give money to people, to give them bags, to give them, T-shirts, so forth. CDC printed over 1 million T-shirts. And I saw it. Yeah, it was unveiled by the CDC. It was unveiled by them. The chairman even shared it, Chairman Molu. It was the first time during Syria electionary period to see CDC doing that. We saw it during the senatorial election. Yes, it was not President Weah, but for President Weah to be into the election where CDC will print T-shirts and take it to the communities to give it to people and say, "We big your come up, we hold your for your come up." This is the first time we've seen that. In 2017, yes, they had their official T-shirt at the printer, but it was at their party headquarters. But for this, they took it on their head, carrying it from place to place, sharing it in wheelbarrows, and, giving it to people. I have a friend who is also one of their cheerleaders, and she and I we spoke the last time. She said, "James, it's not easy on us." Practically, they were in the community mobilizing, giving T-shirts to people, giving them caps, and she said we also carry rest to them. Yeah, so CDC is on an unusual side. That is why we're making news out of it, because we know in Liberia we give CDC plus. Yesterday we used to give them plus. They have organic members, but now they are manufacturing members to attend their event.
And we are even getting reports, that the CDC mobilizers, even giving people money to
Yeah,
attend attend the
I
rally.
told you I have a friend. She's one
Yeah.
of the She's one of the organizers. She's a cheerleader, and we speak almost every time. We speak almost every time. Yeah.
Well, this is news, big news, where things have now turned around. We are hearing that in the past from you, Good Day, that CDC had passionate members.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't need to do the type of mobilization that we're seeing now. But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting here for us to probably explore why there's a turn in the table right now. What's going on that these members who used to willingly just support the CDC are apparently, not doing so. CDC needs to engage some of the strategies, if we can call that strategies for lack of a better word, like giving things like money, T-shirt, and rice. This is unusual. This is the rate in which they are doing that seems to be
Yeah.
unusual. So there has to be an exploration as to why, what happened. So maybe that'll be part of our discussion when we get here as a panelist. I want to just welcome Kev Hassan to the program. Kev, we're waiting on. Can somebody reach out to Council of Verdia? We're waiting on Council of Verdia, but we're just going over. We saw the two videos. One was a young like Liberian man. Saying,
Secretary saying, I don't plan to cut you off. I
mhm.
met a discussion online. Please, can I address that? But
Say that again.
can I address the discussion that I met?
Yes, you will. I'll give you an opportunity
Yeah,
to.
can I address that, please?
Yes. Can you just give me 1 second, Kev? I was speaking. Let me finish. You will. So I was just saying that there was two. I was explaining to you that we played two videos before you came on. One with a gentleman talking about, a T-shirt was given to him, and after all these years, CDC did not reach out to him. He was kind of alluding to that, but now they are giving him a T-shirt. And then I saw one where people run with brooms. And James, before Kev come in, can you tell us what the brooms are getting?
Uh,
Secretary, can
those
I address that?
those people.
Yeah, Kev, you
Yeah,
will. Kev,
I don't want the guests to come because the time.
no, no, no,
I know,
no.
I know
I understand.
you guys still like, can
I
I
understand.
address?
Yeah. Before even when the guests come in, we all have opening
Yeah, I
statements
just
like we
want to
usually
address
do. So
that.
just
Before
give me a moment. I just wanted just give me a moment, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes. Good day.
those people you saw with the brooms
Mm-hmm.
were going to ATS to do a general cleanup,
Okay. Okay.
and they are supporters who were recruited from the communities.
Okay.
And I spoke with I think 3 or 4 of them. I think
Mm-hmm.
the guy said they were giving them he said 1,005. I think, yeah, because it was the rate.
The rate right now is 158, 159 to some places, 157 to some
So
places.
that's around 10, a little over $10, right?
Okay.
One, how much?
1,005.
Yeah, yeah, 1,005. Yeah, around $10. It will be $9 some cents right now.
Okay.
Okay, all right, maybe 10, 11, or 9. Yes. So he said, the other guy said to me, oh, careful, tell me on the show.
it's not that you
Okay,
start
so the guy said, okay, I'm coming, Kev. So the guy said basically they were recruited. He said we are here for a general cleanup because my colleague was there going live. My colleague went live, and at the end of the day, I called him. I said, my man, what are you doing? What? He said, oh, I want my ball. I said, oh, but I thought the mayor that unity party man. The man said, my man, don't bring out your politics here. Not unity party man. I can't hustle in our Liberian way. I told him, but what the hustle you on? He said, my man, tomorrow the meet day. Today we just can't do cleanup, my man.
Okay.
Kochi organized us for us to come do the cleanup. So I get him and lay 1,005 from here. I said, but then my man, you take it, you must send me something. I'll give you my number so you can send something for me. He said, my man, you leave me, man, you should send me something. Then he had other girls then around him. I spoke with some of them. They said, oh yeah, we can work, we are working. And they were ready at the ATS doing a cleanup, general cleanup, to
Okay.
set the stage for tomorrow. So
Okay.
those are some of the people who they have real citizens there, and they also have people who went to hustle.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the update, for clarifying what the broom was all about. Because, like I said, I have this image of Tia Gungli every time I see a broom. Kef Hassan, please feel free to make your comments. We're just talking about the videotapes. That's what we're talking about.
you see, I have a thing called you kind of psychologically massage yourself. Um, uh, I said something to you today, James. Uh, you are a journalist, and Yekezi, you guys are journalists. Um, it's good to play in the middle. Um, don't try to play propaganda in political parties because you're going to hit the streets. And when you guys hit the streets, we expect our people, for the sake of our network, to have a credibility. Don't put, even in America, all journalists do have the political affiliation, but they keep it. Now, will somebody tell you on the street and you announce it because it's not true? The reason I'm late on the show, I have calls in Liberia that people want t-shirts so much they cannot get. I'm here trying for people to get t-shirts. T-shirt is a hot cake right now. No CDC going in, no place giving t-shirt to people. People coming for t-shirt. Sir Joseph was attacked for
So
t-shirt.
Kev, no, I'm coming. No, Kev,
Okay.
Kev.
You cannot do that.
Kev.
No, Kev. You see that?
That's
No,
the
you
one.
cannot stop me.
Credibility, and then I try to
James, you
ask
cannot stop
questions.
me.
No.
He cannot.
And Kev.
Yeah.
Kev.
He cannot stop me because I did not
I
interrupt.
just wanted to ask you a question.
Kev, wait. As
Yeah.
the moderator on the show, we are going to stick to the substance. We are not going to do personality attack, or we're not going to tell
He
people
don't-
what to say.
No, he should not stop me. Let me finish.
Kev, you're interrupting me.
No, you are interrupting me because I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm the moderator on this show, and I'm the one who will tell people when to speak and when not to speak.
Yeah, but I'm talking, Dr. Richardson.
Well, I'm just that's
So
you are.
you
You guys are-
cannot be.
Kev.
No, Dr. Richardson.
Kev.
Dr. Richardson,
Kev.
he interrupted me.
Kev. No, I'm not speaking about that. I'm making a general announcement right now before.
No, but let me finish. You can make
No,
your
I'm not,
announcement.
I'm not going to allow you to finish, Kev. Until I finish with my announcement, I'm not going to allow you to finish.
Dr.
I
Richardson
think we
cannot
all-
finish.
Kev, no, you're not going to finish until I'm
So-
done with my announcement. I am the
So-
moderator on the show.
So
Kev,
Good can interrupt me.
No,
So
no.
Good can interrupt
this
me.
is not about Kev. This is not about who
I'm sorry.
interrupts.
No, but Dr. Richardson, I have to finish speaking.
Kev, no, you will finish speaking, but I have an announcement to make. The announcement that I have to make.
So why I'm speaking, you have to cut me off?
Yes, to make an announcement. It's very important. The announcement that I have to make is we are going to respect our audience and we're going to respect each other on this show. It will respect each other by allowing people to speak in their freedom, their thoughts, okay? And then you can speak your freedom, your words, your thoughts. We'll not come here and tell anybody how they should speak, whether they are good journalists or not. You have information to provide to the Liberian people, and I'm thankful that you have access to people who are telling you that there's t-shirts out there. That's good. That's information Liberian people need to know. James and Yekesi have contrary information. They can also share that information. I'm not interrupting you. I'm just trying to set the tone where each of you can speak in a way where the audience will be able to hear you instead of talking over each other. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me continue. And what I was saying. At this moment, the reason I came late because I have people on the street calling me. I'm calling people for t-shirts. I can put Sir Joseph on the line. Sir Joseph was attacked because of t-shirts. People say we want t-shirt because we have to be there. They gave the phone to Sir Joseph. I was on the phone. And I spoke to Sir Joseph. Sir Joseph said, please, I don't have t-shirt, Kev. It finished. I don't have to call Sir Joseph. You call Sir Joseph and ask Sir Joseph what happened just now when I spoke with Sir Joseph. People out there want t-shirt. But to come on and say Sidisha are going for a t-shirt, that is wrong. It's a lie. You text me, Dr. Richard, where are you? Because I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. Find a t-shirt for our people. I'm calling everybody. No t-shirt. I was on the phone with Minister McGill. People running to Minister McGill for t-shirt. I'm asking, I said, Chief, you get t-shirt? Chief said, I don't have t-shirt. The t-shirt finished. So for people to play that games to say we're giving people t-shirt because you saw some guy video, if I were on the opposition side, I would get angry because that's that you're fooling us. If I were the opposition side, what I'm saying happening in the city right now, I would try to mobilize my people. I would do more job. But to sit down and say CDC going in places and giving a t-shirt, I was just on the phone with one of my friend, Henry Collins. I'm telling him, I'm begging him. I can show you my phone. Dr. Richard said I can screenshot my calls and send it to you because I know you will not put it out there and send it to you. This is not right. We're then suffering. As a seditious, we're suffering to give our people t-shirt. And somebody said we carry t-shirt. James, if you know anybody who get t-shirt right now, I'm going to challenge you and Yekezi. Go for you. If you know anybody who get t-shirt right now, send me that person number. Let me give my guy t-shirt. And I'm going to challenge you. If you cannot produce anybody right now, go for you. There's somebody out there who get t-shirt wasting so I can give my people t-shirt. Though you're misleading the people. And I'm challenging you on the show. You show anybody who get t-shirt in abundance that they don't have people to give it to. Give it to me. You give me the number. Call me. You don't have to announce it. Go off. You and I can go off. Both for you. We can go off. Let's call the people. I challenge both for you.
Okay. Cap?
You don't do that. You guys are journalists.
All right.
You're not panelists like us.
All right.
You're
Cap.
comfortable journalists.
Okay, Kev. Thank you very much. Good day. Would you like to further the conversation?
Yeah, again, I'm sorry.
I'm not going off because of that. I'm making some
again. No, I want you to Kev. I want you to get something before you go, please. Again, okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry that Kev came late. So there's this saying that when you go in the church late, don't just raise any song. Maybe before your arrival, people already sang that song. Did I really say people in the street tonight sharing t-shirts? I said CDC brought in over 1 million t-shirts, and it was unveiled at their.
Kev, James is speaking. Kev, James is speaking. Thank you.
I said CDC brought in over 1 million t-shirts.
That let out news. The reason why you're talking, you let what James saying. That's all you like, that original saying.
And they were unveiled at their party headquarters. What happened? Over 2 months, CDC been sharing these t-shirts. In fact, CDC program was to be held on December 19. It was to be held on December 19, 2022. They brought in a t-shirt 5 months before that time. Before that time, CDC had her t-shirts in Monrovia. So what CDC did, CDC had district coordinators who went from district to district in Monserrato. I told you that a friend of mine who is in district number, I don't want to call her district, okay, who is in one of the districts, she got over 300 t-shirts to organize team to distribute it in her district. And these t-shirts, since then, they started distributing these t-shirts, not tonight or not today or not yesterday. Over 5 months, CDC been having over 1 million t-shirts. And the program was to be here on December 19. They postponed it to the 4th of this month due to what they said. The president told them that the people should celebrate the New Year and the Christmas. So CDC, it was the first time for us to see CDC bringing over 1 million t-shirts, according to them, to distribute it to people. That was my point. Before, people took their shirts from on them, they carried the printing machines, they got them printed. But today, CDC is taking t-shirts to the people in the communities. I did not tell you that they are doing it today. They thing started over 5 months, and you know that. Everybody here knows it. Everyone in Liberia knows about what I'm saying. CDC t-shirt been in the country for over 5 months. and they've been distributing them. So it was the first time for a party to wearing the top t-shirts in their hands and say, y'all come for it, that your t-shirt here. That's the reason why you saw people coming out. So tomorrow, again, another discussion is you're going to be to a place that has a capacity of at least 10 to 15,000. You claim that 1 million people will assemble there tomorrow. We want to see how you're going to do that. So please, you came late. I did not tell you CDC sharing it tonight.
Okay, you can see. Yes,
Please
Kev.
permit me.
Yeah.
Let me explain that to you.
You can see it to see if he has any additional comment, and he will come back to you.
Please
You can
permit
see.
me.
You can see. Can
Yeah.
you write it down, Kev? You can see. You have any other thoughts to add to this conversation, and then we'll go to Kev Hassan.
Yeah. I mean, so like I said,
The professor.
like I said earlier, uh, um, we in Liberia, we see, we know what's unfolding. Like I said, seditions. You got CDC pickups, trucks into communities, sharing T-shirts into various communities, even on the principal streets of Monrovia. You know, you got trucks mounted with speakers, creating awarenesses, and at the same time, you know, distributing T-shirts. So my thought here was, you know, this wasn't a scenario before 2017. I mean, people willingly, you know, went to CDC rallies. People printed their own T-shirts. T-shirts, you know, were not taken into various communities from one community to another community. You know, like it is being done here. And about a challenge, we were speaking right now, and a sedition called me off the television. I spoke with him, and he said he's a disenchanted sedition, and he's even requesting now, you know, for the team to permit him to speak to some of the things just about this same, you know, paying of people to go to the rally tomorrow, paying of people to get the t-shirts today. So he wants to speak on it. And I told him that I was going to communicate that. So, I mean, these are not things that we are making up ourselves, Kev. These are things that are happening. And, you know, we must tell the public as journalists, you know, and you don't expect us here to be calling names as to who are those who don't have shares, or, you know, those are people who are giving us information, and we have to protect their identity. So, like I said, there's a disenchanted sedition. According to him, they are in numbers. They are willing to speak on this platform tonight about what's unfolding. I don't know the person. I just saw the screen's number on my phone, you know, and I answered it. And the guy is texting me continuously as we speak.
Okay, thank you, Yekesi. As a team, we'll make a decision as to if we would like to add that voice to the conversation later. The person who called you, Kev Hassan, did you have anything to say? And we're still waiting
I
on
would, I would,
Kev.
I would like, I would like Yekezi to show a footage of CDC today sharing T-shirts. I would challenge you. You know the good thing of a spoon, we push ourselves, we challenge ourselves. Today, you guys are serving for now before the guys come there as a panelist. And that's what I do, my fellow panelists. I challenge them. I will challenge you, Yekezi, produce a footage today that CDC sharing T-shirt on the streets. Can you do that, Yekezi? I want you to put your profession on. No, Dr. Richardson, please. He said he in Morovia. He do have you know, I'm not in Morovia. He there. I challenge Yekezi to put a footage and see CDC on the street today buying T-shirt. Can you do that, Yekezi?
I can do that. I got several footages of such. I'm going to send them to James.
Okay, thank you.
Today. Today, CDC Divine T-shirt on the streets today,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Thank you.
You know,
Thank
that's what let me finish now.
Okay.
Let me
Go,
finish now.
go ahead. I thought you were finished. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I finished that. That's what Spoon is made about. I challenge him. He said he will prove me. Let him prove me today. Today, he said today on the street that their divine T-shirt also, so we can see it. But let me say this to you. I'm on the phone. I want to go on the phone. I just send text because I want to listen to James. That I'm looking for T-shirt for people. People are calling me. I just talked to a friend of mine who going to meet some of my people at somewhere in Ghana to see if you can give the tea. They said there were 43 of them, but they can take 25. So he said, look, what they can get, they will get it. So if T-shirt is available, that and I don't know. So let's see if Yekezi can provide that information that there's a lot of T-shirt there. But I can tell you what will happen tomorrow. It will be a tsunami, a human tsunami tomorrow. So people can spin it all they want to. I want people to understand if George Manuel will be on the ballot on October 10. He will be on the ballot. And you will see what will happen tomorrow. You know why people are spinning this thing? They're spinning this thing because before they say, oh, people will not come out. The CDC before, oh, people are not coming out. But now, let me address what James said. Let me address what James said. You know, speaking, I just having calls of, for T-shirt. Look, let me address what James said. James, we're going to lock down Monrovia. ATS is small for us. We're going to lock down Monrovia. And tomorrow, and I can say, despite I went after you, you're a man who speak the truth. I know you. You speak the truth. If the city is locked down tomorrow, you will come on this platform and say the city will lock down. Because you said that on for Delon. Your favorite thing you said, the city is locked down for Delon. Your favorite comment on that bridge. And at that time, I realized that Delon was going to win. So I believe that you will come on and say that the city, I don't know, maybe you will change, but I believe you will come on and speak the truth. But let's say this: nobody right now giving T-shirt out. We're looking for T-shirt. So if my brother Yekezi can have a T-shirt that you see they're giving, you understand? So let's play it. I'm saying today, don't say, oh, last year they were giving. Today, I'm talking about today. Let's see CDC, they're just giving T-shirt today. I want to see it.
Thank you. Yes.
I wanted to bring a video of Sedition sharing T-shirt just yesterday.
Great. Thank you today. Is we
I asked you what CDC is sharing T-shirt today.
Hassan, please. Hassan, please. So if you
what CDC saying T-shirt today. I said no T-shirt today. You tell me yesterday again.
Kev Hassan, please. If you're just joining us, we are awaiting our guest today. I also at this point like to welcome Minister Fagon on the show. We're having a discussion about tomorrow, which is supposed to be the CDC partitioning ceremony. And there's two thoughts here. One is that the CDC is approaching new territories. They historically have not been mobilizing or sharing T-shirts. They were just that kind of political party that people wanted to be a part of. So they would come people came to them. Okay, but we see something different that is happening according to Good Day and Yekesi, is that they are mobilizing more than ever before. They are going into the community and giving people T-shirts, rice, and asking people to be a part of them. So those are the two school of thoughts that are going on. James Goodday just said that according to Kev Hassan, they have more T-shirts and they have more people than they have T-shirts. But Goodday just pull out a video from someone who got T-shirt yesterday. Is where they were sharing T-shirt yesterday, right? Goodday. Yes. Okay. So, Mr. Falcon, I'm going to play this video just because of what happened, and then you'll come in and give your opening remarks. Yes. Go ahead, good day.
Yeah, I'm coming. Have the video where the teacher, they have it in there getting ready to take it out to the team. Let me try to get it on. They have their music.
We was the winners game. We coming again. Coalition for democratic change. Now the whole country champion they coming so.
Okay, thank you very much. Good day. As you can see, that was a TikTok video of the CDC mobilizing and talking about their coming out into the community to share T-shirt, which was the thought that James put out there, that he is observing. He said that they observed something different about the CDC. James used the word that CDC had an organic membership, where people were making their own T-shirts. They wanted to be part of this revolution. But in the past couple of years, there's been a trend where people are not as enthusiastic about being a member of the coalition. They are doing things that other parties, that's what James even used the concept of, there seems to be a turn in terms of the table, where other parties were the one who used to go out there and give people, T-shirts, money, cup of rice. The CDC didn't have that kind of a problem. But now we are seeing that it's happening within the CDC. Kev Hassan is objecting to that and said, no, the CDC is powerful. They don't need to mobilize. People are still coming to them. And in fact, they didn't give out any T-shirt. So this is where we stand right now, audience. I'm going to go to Minister Falcon and let him just share his thoughts as we wait for our guest speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson, and good evening to all. If anyone on this platform have got the authority and the spice, as well as the information relative to this subject matter, it's me. From 2016, 2017, and then 2018, the inauguration, so forth and so on until I left government. We're talking about the CDC here, which is the Coalition for Democratic Change. But I want to do something different before I complete my opening. Permit me, Madam Moderator, to ask my brother, where are we, Kev, on the signing ceremony of the NPP and that of the LPDP with regards to the CDC, if you don't care to answer that before I proceed.
Kev Hassan, there's a question. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer it. Mr. Falcon can just proceed. But he's asking, I think it's a general question, where are we in regards to, is it the petition from the Democratic, the Congress of Democratic Change, or is it a coalition for democratic change? That's what he wants to know, a status report.
No, the signing ceremony that Kev announced would have happened today, Friday.
Oh,
It
I'm
is
sorry.
it is now 9:35 in the city at night. Tomorrow is actually the program. And that's why I'm asking him as to today being Friday, what's the status of the signing ceremony?
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed the point. I didn't
Yes,
realize
ma'am.
the signing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You don't have to answer that, Kef Hassan. Mr. Falcon can continue.
Before I go to that, can I say something before I go to that?
Sure.
Okay. The video that James played. Thank you, thank you, James. I I like the video you played. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The guy who I just called the name Henry Collins, that his group, he's the one I call and beg for that for t-shirt. So when I saw that video with that, it was limited. It had, I think, about 200 of those t-shirts that he had before. So I called him. That his video there, Henry Collins. James, thank you very much for playing that video. You made my case. You know, I like you, boy. Um, uh, that's his video. That his group there. So he had that video. So I called him. I said, Henry, I need t-shirt. Please go meet my guys them. So I put my guys on the line with them. They're going to meet as I speak in Ghana Bay, somewhere in Ghana Bay. I'm not going to show the actual place in Ghana Bay. That his video. That's Henry video. So thank you for making my case. What I was asking for, I want a video to show that CDC is on the streets giving t-shirt, and that video is not there. So I'm calling on my two journalists of mine station where I belong to Spoon to show a footage that they're calling people on the street giving them t-shirt. He then showed me my video of my friend called Henry Collins as I speak. Henry, I hope you're listening. If you're listening, call. Don't call my phone. Call the Spoon studio. I hope you listen. I wish you listen and explain to people. When I call him, he said, "My man, gone." I said, "I beg you, man, what you can get, please hustle for me." As I speak, Henry is hustle. So that video you show is Henry Collins' video. Thank you, James. Let me
Thank
answer Fagon. Mr. Fagon, let me answer Mr. Fagon. Mr. Fagon, Tomlin announced and said he got information they will sign it on Friday. My statement, go back to the tape. My statement, come Saturday, the nomination will not be Congress. You're going to see Joy Howard Taylor there. You will not see Congress there. It's going to be Coalition for Democratic Change. That's what you're going to see there.
Okay, thank you,
So
Kef.
go back to the tape. You see it. I'm telling you, come Friday, you're going to see a united front, and you're going to see a tsunami there. So Tomlin announced it. For me, I know it was a done deal long time because I'm within. So I know that Fagon don't have a front row seat. I do have a front row seat, so I know better than him.
Okay.
I know
All right.
within.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kef Hassan. Again, we're going to be able to make our points here, our thoughts, without talking about another panelist.
Dr. Richardson, he asked me a question, I answer, right?
No, I know. I'm just reminding everyone that we're just going to we can express ourselves without mentioning names.
No, he asked me. I just saying I do have a front row seat, so yes, I know what's happening. He don't have a front row seat. Yeah, he don't know.
We got it. Thank you very much. Mr. Fagon, can you please go ahead and proceed with the points that you want to make relating to the subject matter of the signing program and CDC petitioning program tomorrow? Please proceed.
All right. Thank you very much. If I don't have a front row seat, I have a front row seat. Yeah, you have a front row seat right in your office in America.
That is what they call front row seat. But anyways, the show has to be interesting. When people bragged about CDC, a party that they know nothing about, they were not there in 2016. They were not there in 2017. They were not there in 2018. They never worked in the government for 3.5 years. They know nothing about the special elections. They know nothing about the by-elections. They know nothing about the midterm elections. I don't consider that person a sedition. I consider that person a microphone. You see, the microphone is something you hold and then you talk inside. You put it down, different person can go and talk inside, they put it down. Now we the human being there where tomorrow if they have trial, they will carry out to court for trial. We the human being there. So the real Liberian English I want to speak is this. When I was campaigning for CDC throughout the length and breadth of the country, on almost every radio station in the country, and was the internet kingpin of the CDC, using my resources, my personal resources. Seditions never put t-shirt in car to go get to anybody. Seditions in Grand Jide told me to announce that they were using Potter to rest CDC on their back and CDC on their bellies. CDC never went to beg people to do t-shirts. Dr. Lester Tenney came on this program. He said he went in a community. Does anyone of you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Begging a beginner to go. No way. I will get you videos. I will get you one where CDC sharing money with the children. Don't worry. Good day. I get videos. Don't worry. So, this has never happened. On the issue of Joel going, good day. You are a journalist in the city. What do people almost tell with Joel if they didn't almost expel her? Who called for peace talk? Is that the president? Liberians, Joel Tenue expired. EXPIRED, expired. Joel Howard Taylor, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, is no longer by law the political leader of the NPP. Her tenure expired. Now, in case you people don't know, before I come to the t-shirt, there were a couple of meetings held today. The first thing the people did yesterday was seize the NPP headquarters. Joel had to negotiate with Roland Duo and send for him to her house. After they left on the grounds that they were going to negotiate further, the negotiation with LPDP and NPP ended in a deadlock. A sedition is speaking. We're not here for microphone. You listen to me. After the meeting ended in a deadlock, the solution was for James Barney and Alex Tyler to attend the ceremony tomorrow as guests. Their contention was, if we do so, we validate the Coalition for Democratic Change. So, under what auspices is this nomination taking place? We don't have an agreement, they argue. There is no coalition, they argue. So, what is the nomination? Is it Congress or coalition? Because we are out. Based on that, they went for a meeting with Nathaniel Fallow McGill.
Mr. Fagon, can you just speed it up a little bit? We'll have time to talk about it.
If you look at the time at 4:45, the other men been talking all day propaganda. So Ali gave me 3 minutes from the 3 o'clock to 4:45. Look at the time. They went for a meeting. And at that meeting again, it ended in a deadlock.
Jeff,
and
just
they refused. The meeting ended in the deadlock. They refused to attend. they refused to sign.
Okay, thank you.
Because I will finish up on this note.
Okay, thank you.
2 reasons, quickly. One, citizens are going and told everybody, including myself, that they collected money, which would have been paid for play. 2, that the negotiation had ended good, for which they made the announcement that Joel Howard Taylor, as Kev is communicating live on TV with them again, was going to attend, and that she represented the NPP. So that's the defiant posture they put up. As regards the T-shirt, I don't want to tell you about the T-shirt. The T-shirt story have ended. The capacity of the ATS is 10,000. Put merry-go-round, put bypass, put Lee Street. You can never get 1 million people, because the total number of registered voters, it will be that every voter in the country have assembled. And that is a blatant lie. It can't fly because it's dry.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Minister Fakon. Thank you for all of you on the panel that have contributed to this story relating to the petitioning of President George Weah tomorrow. There's an argument going on about if CDC still has the organic membership and numbers, and versus other who are saying they do not. They're giving out.
And before I cut you off by the moderator, we would like to know tonight who's doing the nomination. Is it the Congress for Democratic Change, which is CDC, or the Coalition for Democratic Change that does not exist? It'll be something that the Liberian people are really crying for tonight. They're crying for it. You must tell them who's doing the nomination tomorrow. Because if it's the Congress for Democratic Change, then the other people can move on.
Okay, guys.
I can answer that. Dr. Richardson.
Kev, I would love for you to answer that, and I think that's a great question. I think that's a question that I even
that's
kind of
that's a very good question.
And Minister Falcon has been posting that question as well. So can we? There were other news I want to talk about, and then we can come back to this CDC petitioning program, because it's unfolding. There's so many things to sort of talk about. But so I just want to give us the opportunity to share other things that Yegasi and James Goode reported. And in other news, yes.
1 minute. We are still here, folks. This is
I come in. I just received a video from Patrick Factory. I wanted to just disprove, Kev. You know, Spoon is very big. Patrick Factory currently, as we speak, they are sharing T-shirt telling people they should be at ATS 6 o'clock, beginning 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
Please put a video up.
So James Goode, you are
go ahead.
responding to kept saying nobody was sharing T-shirt today. That's what you're responding to, right? Okay. All right. We'll allow that to happen, James Kev Hassan.
Yeah. Let me put it up. Yeah. We'll allow that. Yeah. Put it up, James. Yeah, when you put it up, then I respond, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Rizzo. James love to make my case, man. The guy, I mean, I'm paying you. He love to make my case.
They said nobody divide T-shirt to now. So now when we see T-shirt to now being divided.
Well, you know, honorable, just put it up.
Just waiting for you. So this is what the argument is. People are saying that CDC changed its approach to the program. Generally, they do not have to look for members. Kev Hassan is telling us that is not true. They brought in many T-shirts and they are out of T-shirts. They did not have to distribute T-shirts to the community because people naturally are still coming to CDC. James and Goode saying it does not appear that way based on the information that they are getting. They're saying that CDC are going around giving people a cup of rice, giving people T-shirts, and asking them to come to the ATS. They're saying that this 1 million, and I hope, are you ready, James? Go ahead, James.
Welcome tonight. We are here at the residence of the district lawmaker, Honorable LLP Flomo. Excuse me, go off small so I can. This is where we are tonight. We are here at the residence of the district lawmaker, Honorable LLP Flomo, District 13, Mosoro County, where scores of partisans are gathered here tonight to receive their individual T-shirts, the Fairmont Blues color T-shirts, as they carry on their grand march or the 1 million march on tomorrow. It's quite exciting. Tonight you have to join it, share the video, follow, make a comment. This is where we are right in front of the resident of the Honorable Lawmaker District.
So that's one.
No, James.
Come on, another one.
Their share of the T-shirts.
Thank you.
Don't end it. Let it play. Don't give half story.
No, keep in the other video.
No. James, don't end it.
Kev Hassan.
Kev, the man has another video. He has another video.
Okay,
Facon. T-shirt on there.
Mr. Facon. Okay.
James,
James.
in the other video.
Their share of the T-shirts. I think.
Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
We are still here, folks. This is Battery Factory District 13, Mosoro County. Maker of 38 communities. Honorable Flomo have decided to distribute T-shirts given to him by the.
There we have it. We see T-shirts are being distributed in Battery Factory community. So
as we speak.
So this is to dispute what Kev Hassan said. Kev Hassan, would you want to respond to what James Goodday just showed you about the distribution of T-shirts? You said, please give me, let me finish, please. You said that.
You didn't ask us, you can talk tomorrow. Let's do it.
I don't want talking plenty now. You said.
Yeah.
I'm just here to reiterate and to summarize.
Yes.
You said that no T-shirts were being distributed because CDC did not have the need to do that. They are still an organic organization. They are still having people come to them. In fact, you are looking for T-shirts to give to people. And Good Day told you, he told you that they have videos of people distributing T-shirts here as we speak in the community. CDC is mobilizing the community, and you challenge them to produce the video. And audience, if you are watching us, Good Day produced the video. Do you have any thoughts, Kev Hassan?
Dr. Richardson, let me say this. Number one, I'm looking for the word I want to say. Some of us, people accuse us that, oh, you don't speak right, you don't know nothing. We take that. You're hard on the tape. Who we put inside telling the people 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. No, they ain't give no T-shirt. The people went. You see people online, my people. You see people standing online. It's not a CDC people in the era knocking people door your titty show. You see people online. You play the video, my people. You see people standing online. They announce it to them, say, tomorrow morning, if you divine T-shirt today, why you get them today? You see any T-shirt divine today? James, I'm not saying.
You're asking me?
No.
Yes, because the poor divine T-shirt.
Can you show any T-shirt that divine today? They're telling them tomorrow morning. People went for T-shirts. You see it online. Let me tell you something. Dr. Richardson. when you and I we're in the same field. When people see things that is not there, we know the language we can use. Dr. Richardson, I'm asking you today. Number one, I just gave Dr. Richardson. I just sent text to Dr. Richardson that people asking me for T-shirts. I sent it to her. She read it. For Liberia. The reason why I tell you to play the full video, and I'm challenging you, James Goode Flomo, one of our best journalists. I'm challenging you, play the video and listen to what it's saying. They're telling them tomorrow morning. If there was a T-shirt there today, they will give it. They will give them. I'm challenging you.
Yeah, no, when that Richardson approved it, I'll play.
Okay.
Play the video. I'm challenging you to see the whole video and
When the
listen.
moderator approves it.
And we will
You
have
go
to
online, and listen, Dr. Richardson, I will challenge you when you play that video if you don't see people standing online.
Okay.
Oh, I come in.
So
Can I play that
if
Richardson?
you going to people, listen, Dr. Richardson, if you going to people, how many people you going to stand online? No, if you're going to people, you go in the community. The people came for T-shirts. Look at the video. Watch the video. And I'm challenging you, James. And mind you, you know what I sent you today, the text I sent you today. I'm challenging you. Play that video and see if the people are not standing in line.
So,
James,
if you are just joining us,
don't do that to yourself. Stop it.
You are just joining us. This is an important issue that we're.
Let's play that video. Play it again.
Hassan, please. Thank you. If you are just joining us, this is a very important issue that we're talking about. Historically, political parties have used T-shirts to entice Liberians to vote their way. And many Liberians have bought into that notion. We are now telling you how this process of T-shirts by political parties tend to play out. There's an argument that is going on right now where many people were in favor of the revolution of democratic change, the Congress for Democratic Change, where they didn't have to go out into the community. James and Yekesi said here today, and I also heard Minister Fagon, people were actually making their own T-shirts. They even use a chalk to put on their body where they wrote PDC. Yekesi is now saying that they have seen a trend based on their observation in the community and in Monrovia, where people are not as willing to use their own money to purchase T-shirt or to make T-shirt. Kef Hassan is saying that's not true. The party is still supreme. They don't need to go out to give people T-shirts. And so he challenged Good Day to produce videos of people distributing T-shirts because he said there are no distribution of T-shirts going on. So you are just joining us. This is what we're talking about. James Goode, did you want to say something else before we go on?
Yeah, I want to play the
again.
The video. Yeah, please, just wait. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just a summary.
Okay.
What I said previously, I said CDC of yesterday, 2005, 2011, 2017, seditionists were printing their own shirt in the communities. Yes, CDC had official shirts for their campaign launch. They were all at their party headquarters. We did not see seditionists everywhere in the communities gathering people or partisans to give them T-shirts. People in the communities were printing their own T-shirt. And we said seditionists took T-shirts in the community to give it to the people and say, "You'll come for your T-shirts." And we also said it was happening. Yekesi said today he saw people on trucks distributing T-shirts in the community.
Let's see the truck.
I'm coming. And again, I said there was T-shirt being distributed.
Let's see T-shirt distributed by trucks and this. Let's see it. We're not seeing it. You saw people online. Let's see it. I challenge him.
Okay, Kev. Thank you very much. Okay. Minister Fag, Good Day. Are you done?
Yes. So the video I have here It's in district number 13 where you have Papi Flomo, Representative Papi Flomo, where they were able to gather people from in the community. They claim that they are sedition. They gather them to distribute t-shirts on them. If I play this video, you're going to see the people receiving their t-shirt and walking away to go home.
Okay, please play the video, please.
Okay.
Welcome tonight. We are here at the residence of the district lawmaker, Honorable LRP Flomo. Excuse me, go off small. Their share of the t-shirts. I think.
Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
We are still here, folks. This is Battery Factory District 13, Massachusetts County. Maker of 38 communities. Honorable Flomo have decided to distribute t-shirts given to him by the CDC to partisans in district, many of whom have received already. Others still here patiently waiting for their share of the blue color, the famous blue color.
There we have it.
Dr. Richardson, please. Dr. Richardson, I want to make one point quick. Dr. Richardson,
please. No,
Dr. Richardson,
wait.
That's one thing. The people went to the lawmaker home.
Yes, you are going to give me an opportunity to speak. Okay, so the premise, the original premise here, and this is for our audience to see. Kev Hassan said no t-shirts were being distributed to Liberians. Okay? Exactly. That's the original premise. We are not going to change the goalpost as we converse today. Wow. All right. And what we see by evidence,
your opposition
video evidence have shown.
Anyway, the opposition talking. Let me leave it. The opposition
talking. They have presented to us that by video evidence that t-shirts are being distributed to Liberians, which suggests that there is a trend in the way how CDC are seeking their support from Liberians.
The people went to the lawmaker house. He said the people went to the lawmaker house.
You are interrupting me. Kev, you are interrupting me. Kev, I don't understand this, Kev, but you are interrupting me.
Yeah, but they went to the lawmaker house.
We are going to stick to the issue right now.
I want to Liberian people listening to the thing tonight.
The fact of the matter is, James Gooden and Yekesi said they are noticing a trend in the manner in which CDC are being supported by Liberians. They are saying that Liberians are not willingly making their own t-shirts or willingly attending the programs in which they were being called for to support CDC. James even said that it almost like what used to happen to other parties. You know, people used to go there with 2 t-shirts sometimes. You gave that whole narrative. So Liberians, you have seen that James Gooden, by way of video, have disputed Kev Hassan's comment about t-shirts were not distributed today. I'm going to come on to Minister Fagon, and he's going to have some thoughts about this, and then we're going to have some final thoughts and close this topic all together.
You know, what is interesting in that video is not only the woman receiving her t-shirts with her baby and going, it's the guy who is talking, who says other people have received theirs and they have left, and other people are still in line waiting for theirs. That English, why are we going all around the place? You know, I think CDC is forcing people now to learn how to lie. Even if you see the truth, they must lie. I sent a video to Good Day. It's so short. The men are dividing the car on the money on the car hood. When you tell people, CDC has never been that party to chase the people chase their party. They tell their party, don't paddle, I get it.
What just happened?
Put it back, Kude, on the car hood. Put it back on the car hood.
Okay.
Put it in the bag.
Is that a distribution of money?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
We have been down these roads before. We have seen these movies before. We have brought the buses before. And the CDC does not have to defend itself. The first lie the CDC told was that they will have a nomination in December, I think on the 19th. The president said, oh, no. The Congress for Democratic Change already had a convention. And I want you to listen to this, Dr. Francine. They postponed this thing to February 4th. They said they were going to have a nomination. All we know is CDC. Then there was grumble. The CDC lied and said that it was the coalition, not the Congress for Democratic Change. The reason why we are forced to discuss T-shirt tonight, and I'm not going to discuss it again, is that the coalition, the people wants to take the focus from on the fact that George Weah will be nominated tomorrow by the Congress for Democratic Change. And a former political leader of the NPP will be there. Tonight, why are we now asking the question that the Liberian people are seeking answer to? Who's nominating President Weah tomorrow? It is the Congress for Democratic Change. There is no coalition. So, it's like to me, Dr. Richardson, Tisha now don't matter. Do we have a coalition or not? Is there a Congress or a coalition? Last but not the least, there's no document signed. And I'm closing on this note, if you have 1 million people to march tomorrow, then you'll take me anywhere and incarcerate me. Take me to the Hague because I would have committed maybe war crimes. The truth of the matter is, you cannot put 1 million in the ATS. True or false? True. How many people can you put in ATS? 10,000. How many people will be around the stadium? Maybe Lee Street, sir. Or what do they call the other street? Not Lee Street, man. But all the streets, all in the barrier, all over. Put another 15 there. That's what CDC can get. Because when we did it, we fell out SKD. We brought political we had to give 100,000 without Delon even putting 10 people outside. Then we went for what he did? Thomas Fala. They went back, we didn't joke. We brought the people outside and fell out all the street. Our machine with cow-tail with a seat beret. The sweat same stay inside. Delon said, oh, the woman gave 100,000 to you, bring Thomas Fala. I'll get insane. He get all 200,000 votes. Today again, we say we're bringing 1 million outside. Every time we bring the 1 million outside, I would like to say to the Liberian pool, we got beaten badly. And tomorrow, you will not cross 25,000 if you're lucky. It can't cross. And they are using all the NTA buses, all the yellow buses, the kilo beans, all Sir Joseph buses, all the Sensen trucks. And we know what will happen. And when they promise those people and don't pay them like it happened before, I don't need to tell you, Kude will tell you. I think 3 persons died. when the children could not get their money, and they said Finabono were coming to take care of them, they seized the streets. And you know what happened? They looted people thing, and 3 persons died. So all the people they carry, if they don't feed them, or get them water, or get them the small thing they promise, anything happen in the city tomorrow will blame President Weah. And I would not advise any of my family member to be in such a crowd, because I know how it will end. They don't have the capacity. If they can't deal with MPP, they can't deal with LPDP, they can't reconcile with disenchanted seditions, that one day and their family go in there. And that is my thought.
Yes, thank you, Minister Fagon. You raised some interesting points.
Yes.
One of the questions that you raised is who is nominating President Weah tomorrow? And I think all Liberians should ask that question. Is it the coalition or is it Congress for Democratic Change? And when we talk to the coalition, a couple of references was made to the coalition yesterday when Senator Prince Johnson was here. He spoke about cultivating relationship with the coalition. We see that the Bani side is gone. We see that there's some questionable relationship with Joe Howard. We see that the MDR side is also not signing the agreement. So that and these organizations made up the coalition. So now this is why we're asking the question, who's going to petition President Weah tomorrow? You also raised the question about, it may seem trivial to many Liberians that we are talking about t-shirts, but we are trying to present the idea that crowd and t-shirt has not worked well for our country in terms of policies and changing the trajectory of our country. We're here talking about it, that t-shirts, people can come with t-shirts and crowd, all of those things, but that doesn't really mean the support is going to go with you. There was a video shown, where people were getting money for t-shirt. There's a whole nother story. Mr. Falcon broke some news here. He said if we get 25,000 tomorrow, if the CDC gets 25,000 tomorrow, it would be historical. He doesn't believe that they are going to even get $25,000 in ATS Stadium. They are projecting that they're going to get 1 million people tomorrow. And Minister Falcon is saying there's no way.
Dr. Tracy, your statistics show that the total turnout of your elections in 2017 was 1.6 million. So,
Dr. Urgency, are you giving me another time? You stepped me over.
I'm coming to you, Kev.
You were talking and coming. Give me another time, Dr. Urgency.
Yes. Thank you.
So do you want me to talk and then do the same thing?
When I'm done, Kev, I'm going to come to you. I was just finishing up now.
Reading what you talk and then come back again.
Information.
Kev.
The total.
No, Dr. Urgency, I thought he finished.
Kev, he's done, but he was just interrupting to tell me something about statistic.
So I can do that too? So I can do that too?
Kev,
can you do
that too?
Can you just hold on, please?
Kev,
can I do that too?
Stop it.
Kev, can you hold on, please? I just gave
Can I do that too?
Kev, if you're
finished and you're talking, I interrupt you. Can I do that too?
No, you can. You have to answer the answer.
Dr. Urgency, can I do that too? I'm asking you.
Are you willing to listen to my answer? Because you have asked me 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
The answer is, if you are telling me something substantial relating to what I'm speaking about.
You decide why it's substantial.
Correct. I decide because I'm the moderator on the show. Thank you very much.
You.
Okay. So we're talking about what Minister Falcon. Give me 1 second here. Minister Falcon is saying that he even provided the statistics of how many people voted. So how can we bring in 1 million people? How can CDC bring in 1 million people when the statistics of people who voted last year was about 1.6 million dollars?
And then CDC only won 596, got 596 votes.
So we're speaking about the numbers here. Thank you, Mr. Falcon, for that piece.
All around the country.
But something that is very important to me is we raise a point, Minister Falcon, about the safety issue. safety issue is very important to me. If we are calling for 1 million people to come to ATS tomorrow, I hope that we have all of the parameters relating to safety intact, because I would hate to come back tomorrow and say even one person lost their life or one person didn't get the money to go there. You mentioned 3 persons died the last time. I don't want any Liberians to feel unsafe tomorrow. And just putting 1 million people in the city is a little bit worrisome to me. So thank you very much. Kef Hassan, you have to add to what we have to say as we wait for. I saw him in the
The
radio.
guest is ready.
Okay, he's ready. Okay, Kef Hassan, finish saying what you're saying, and then we'll have Mr. Councilor of Verdia come in. Councilor Vera, please bear with us a second. Let Kef Hassan say what he has to say. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the show. Just bear with us for a second, okay? Go ahead, Kef Hassan.
You see, what's on this ballot in October is what they display. I will give people time who believe that share my same ideology. What's on the ballot is a freedom of speech, freedom of not being favored by your own people. I uh, I believe that we are all God's children, that we should have the same right to speak the same time, and put our our message out there. So let's people not manipulate because we belong to a political party or somebody share the same beliefs. I think that it is wrong. Why I support George Manawia? Because he gave me the opportunity. And Dr. Richardson, you were sitting right there that George Manawia turned around and told me, Kev, let the people speak. Let them oppose. That's their right. That's the right. You was there. The opportunity that Judge Manawia gave, you're not giving me the opportunity that he said, you're not giving me the opportunity. He said, look, I will decide when you want to speak. It's up upon my distraction. I will tell you when you should speak. But hey, it's okay. And that's what's on this bylaws. What we're saying here is that when you look at that tape, you saw that the people went to the lawmaker home, not the other way around. The lawmaker never went to the people home. They went to the lawmaker homes with questions, and they were online. Give me t-shirts. Give me this. Because I do have a front row seat, then anybody on the platform right now, I can safely say that the people are asking us, including me in America, for t-shirts. Senator Sir Joseph is my witness. I can safely say, I'm in America. They're asking me. They're begging me. We want our t-shirts. I understand that people want to play politics. I understand that. But I know, and I'm not worried about that, what tomorrow will show. Because it's shameful on the naysayer will come and want to spin it. But we know that they're asking us. Dr. Richardson, I sent you a text that the people are asking me. You got the text. I sent it to you. I screenshot it. I sent it to you, Dr. Richardson. You have it on your phone. So I'm not lying. You saw it. The people are asking me. They say we want our t-shirts. I'm begging people all around. I'm calling all around. Let me tell you, with me that have front row seat and proximity within this government, I shouldn't be struggling for t-shirt, but I am struggling. And the reason I'm struggling, because all the t-shirts are gone. If I can struggle, imagine Somebody who have proximity can struggle. I'm struggling for t-shirt. I'm begging for t-shirt. I beg Sir Joseph. Sir Joseph say, please, just go in the chat room and ask. I put in the chat room. I'm begging for t-shirts. We don't have it. And here James putting a picture up that people going to the lawmaker. If I were on the opposition side, trust me, I would be afraid. But hey, if people want to psychologically massage their mind and put in stuff into their hypothalamus to feel that they're feeling good, it's nothing wrong to feel good. Feel good is your problem. But feel good is different from reality. And the harsh reality on the ground, the people going to be out tomorrow. And when the people going to be out tomorrow and you say it is money, that's your business.
Okay, Kev, thank you very much.
The people know their leader.
Thank you very much. Audience, at this time, we are going to turn our attention to Councillor Verdia, Jerome J. Verdia. As you probably know, he's a graduate of the University of Liberia. I like to say that because the University of Liberia is or was once a shining star in Africa. He's also a graduate of the Louis Arthur Graham's Law School. He is also a human rights activist, environmental lawyer, and he also is the former chairperson of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission for the Republic of Liberia. So, Councillor Verdia, I'd like to welcome you to the program. We are inviting you here today to talk about trending issues that are going on in Liberia. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to give you the opportunity to just tell us your opinion about what do you think is going on in our country, any resolution, any thoughts, and then we're going to take our turns asking you questions here today. Thank you again for joining us. I'm sorry, can you unmute yourself?
I thought I did. I think you did, but I'm okay now, I guess.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for welcoming me to your program. I'd like to firstly apologize to you all for the late appearance. It was work related. Transitioning from work to home and appearing was very, very delayed. But I'm happy to join you all to discuss issues of Liberia. In your intro, I'd like to correct people on one point that you made, that I'm the former chairman. I'd like to say chairman of the former commission because I wasn't a former chairman. I remained chairman since then. So I was chairman of the former commission. It's the commission that is former.
That is a good point. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And in respect to education, I'm a graduate of Cornell University Law School. That's where I did my master's. What's happening now, we see that President Weah is preparing to bid Liberian people farewell. The stage is being set, when you do a work, whether good or bad, at a particular time when you are leaving, you have to call your people. Sometimes you hold a party. So I see as a farewell party that is going on now in Monrovia. Even though it's not campaigning, but some people say it's campaigning, where I think he has officially launched a campaign, but he's anxious to get his farewell party going on. So that's what's happening. Our country is at a very, very crucial stage. We are looking forward to elections, but we are not yet prepared for elections. And we are just few months away to the elections. It's a challenge for our Elections Commission. I hope they can buckle up. It's a challenge also for those who are conducting the census because there are processes that go through. The census results is now delayed. Okay, and whatever the census is, it has to be verified. And there are still a little bit more processes to go through. The Elections Commission has not verified its voters' roll yet. They will have to register, first-time voters and those who are not verified to be on the voters' roll. So it's challenging. And then I hear the issues of finances for the elections. That has not been resolved yet, but I'm sure the government should be poised to provide the funding for the elections. And I don't think there's very much that is concerning to me, but I guess you and the panelists will raise the issues and then we can discuss.
Just speaking that I was muted. Yes, so thank you very much again for joining us and for the introduction and correction. We appreciate the proper information going out to the Liberian people. We then going to go into our questioning time frame. Each panelist will have the opportunity to ask you questions about training issues training issues related to Liberia. You mentioned a few things already. You said that President Weah is having a farewell party from your perspective. You also mentioned that if you believe that like the Liberia may not be prepared for elections at this moment. You mentioned several reasons: the census, the processing of the census. We don't seem to have our numbers correct yet to know who is eligible to participate in elections. And then you also mentioned the issue of finance. So we're going to go on to Kev will be the first person to ask you the first two questions. And then we're going to go on to Minister Fagan, who will ask you his questions. And then Timothy George would like to welcome you to the program. Then we're going to go to Timothy George. And then I will also come in and ask you my questions. So that's the order of the show today. So Kev, do you have two questions to ask Councillor Verdia?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Councillor Brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
The first question I want to ask you, did you take the bar exam in America?
Kev, can you elaborate a little bit more to tell us how
Yeah,
is that?
it's a straightforward question. I'm just asking. It's a
It
straightforward.
is, but I'm asking to elaborate more to how is that relevant to our issues
I'm
right
just
now.
asking him if he took the bar exam in America.
Well,
Did you?
Which bar?
Mhm.
Let
The
me
law,
let me.
the
Okay.
law, the bar exam, because you're a lawyer. Did you take the bar exam in America?
I do not practice. I graduated in 2012,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, I took the bar, the New York bar, in
Mm-hmm.
2012,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't succeed. Since then, I haven't attempted to take the bar anymore.
Okay, so you failed the bar exam in America. Good information. I wanted to ask that you failed the bar in America. Thank you for being truthful. Let me ask you a second question. Um, you you had a meeting with well, it was an open meeting. You was in a meeting with Alan White, Chris and Chris Smith, and others. And uh, uh, one of the statement by Alan White, he said, and I quote, uh, and the head of the Kama just called Inganoma that he was arrested because the tribe that he belonged to was the Mende tribe in Sierra Leone, that he were arrested. He was trying to put in the situation of Prince Johnson that because of the people of Nimba. So at this moment, we have seen that according to Prince Johnson, that Cummings, who had one of his representative in that meeting you had that were publicized, one of the female member, Dr. Richardson took a trip to Liberia with what was there. So there was putting in, there was talking about Prince Johnson. I want you to talk about that they're saying that Prince Johnson is not indispensable and in the politics in Liberia, he can be taken away. Are you a part of that? and you're pushing of war crime, quote, in Liberia. But I'm saying that folks that are talking about war crime from the ANC, Mr. Cummings, and being in bed with Prince Johnson at this moment. What you made of that?
Well, frankly, I don't know what you have reference to. If you had just asked a question just as you did, I will respond. But you spoke of a meeting I was in, and I don't know the meeting you're talking about. So the context is awkward. And you said Dr. Adenworth spoke, and there was a lady with who is associated with Dr. Francine was in that meeting. I cannot remember being in a meeting with a lady and where those comments were made about Kamonjo and
It was
all of that.
publicized. It was you. It was you. It was Chris Smith. It was Alan White. Let me call the name. Yeah, Cindy. It was publicized. You guys were in. You had a debate and you
You
talked.
cannot place me in a place. I'm telling you, I never was. I was never in such meeting. And if it is Yasini you have in reference to, or whatever lady you have reference to, I cannot remember being in that meeting.
So you guys never had a discussion that was publicized with Chris Smith, with Alan White and others. You don't remember that?
What are you saying? That question. If I cannot remember publicizing a meeting.
Yeah, I will look for the video. I will get a video. But let me see. I'll go to back. Let the other ask
Even
questions.
if you don't have it now, you can make proper reference to that video. But I'm telling you, there was never such meeting that I attended.
So you were not in that video.
What do you want me to tell you? I said I was never in such meeting that you have described.
Okay, I will get a video.
It should be sufficient for you.
Verdia already answered the question. Can we move on to your second question?
No, but I can handle it. If he wants to go back and forward, that's fine. And Dr. Richardson, just a minute. Let me give context to the first question he asked.
No, I'm going.
Because the first question he asked, this is the second question.
Yeah, I want to give context to that question.
Okay, go ahead, Counselor. You are our guest, so we respect your request at this moment. So the first question.
Yeah, I just answer it. I just answer it blankly, and then he tried to spin it. But let me see. I graduated from Cornell University, and after my graduation, my family was out of Liberia and were arrested. My family was arrested in Kenya and about to be deported on the request of the Liberian government. And that news got to me just before I took the exam. And I sought to take an excuse that I cannot take the exam. I have to prepare to run to Africa because of an emergency. Okay, and then my school said, well, you have registered for the exam already. Why don't you just? I said, no, I'm not prepared because there's a disturbing situation in Africa I have to go to. He said, well, but you have registered, so just do what you can do. So it was an exam for like 2-3 hours. I took just 1 hour and I had to leave. Okay, and I was in Africa when they sent the results to me and said, you fell short just 4 points. I said, when I return, I will. So I went to Africa. I handled that situation. I spent 1 year trying to avoid the repatriation of my family back to Liberia, based upon a request from the government of Liberia. I had a case for 1 year in Kenya court with the government of Liberia. Since that time, I came back, having availed myself to that and having practiced law. That's the context surrounding me taking the bar exam, because I graduated from the school arranged for the bar exam to be taken. But it was a very troublesome situation for me. Just when the bar was scheduled, I had to leave to come to Africa. I received an emergency that if I don't come and go to court and do something about it, my family will be deported. The government of Liberia has accused me of committing a heinous crime, which was not true, and so that my family needed to be repatriated to Liberia so that we can face the crime. And I went to court. I challenged it. For 1 year, we're in court fighting or resisting the government of Liberia.
Okay. Thank you so much, Councilor.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Elaborating on that question. We're now going to go on to Minister Fagon, who's going to also ask you his 2 questions.
Madam Moderator, before I waste my time, I think it's really unfair to the Liberian people for a person to ask one man the same question 10 times. Were you in that meeting? No, I wasn't. You sure you were not there? No, I wasn't. And we sat down for 5 minutes for one question. I waived my time to Timberlake because I think it's unfair. If you ask somebody to say they're not there, you spin it again, they say they're not there. You push it again, they say they're not there. You call your sin, they say they're not there.
Okay.
10 times, I waived my time to Timberlake. The Liberian people deserve better.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Timberland George, it's your turn. You have your 2 questions for Councillor Verdia.
Good to see you again, Councillor Verdia. And also good to see the rest of the panelists, Dr. Peabody, Fagon, Kev, and Dr. Richardson. Councillor Verdia, with 249 more days, we'll be having our elections in our country. And there are issues concerning we are being faced with this issue of the census, the biometrics for the NEC, and so forth. Do you think we are prepared for these elections of October 23rd, 10th this year? How prepared you think we are for this election?
Well, thank you, Tamani, and it's good interacting with you again. From where I sit, from my keen observations, I'm of the strong conviction that the government of Liberia is not prepared adequately for these elections. And we have informed our partners that we do not want a hurry bus process elections. The government should have prepared adequately years in advance before now. And it's evident that the Elections Commission is behind schedule. It's evident that up to now, the census results are so delayed to such an extent that if you consider the processes that go into place in validating the census, it would not have been validated before the October elections if the elections are held in October. And then the, the Supreme Court have for quite a while mandated the National Elections Commission to validate the voters' roll. Unfortunately, that has not been done. And then we have new voters, first-time voters that have to be registered. So in the midst of all of that, I think the 200 days plus we have remaining is not sufficient to hold a free, fair elections in which the verdict of the Liberian people will be properly interpreted for the peace of our country. So because of that, I know we are behind schedule. We are not prepared to answer your question. Yeah.
Okay, a second question. We are in the election season and the tensions are all high. The critics of the president and the government are saying that they are saying that the president will be a one-term president. They're going to defeat him. But then when you look on the other side, you have an opposition that are all almost like fractured. They still have not put the pieces together to mount a challenge to President Weah's second term. President Weah was out of the country for a little over a month. He arrived in the country with a heroic and rousing welcome from the citizenry. And then tomorrow, as we see in the city, momentum is building for his re-nomination by the CDC to an extension of the coalition tomorrow. And with this kind of euphoria in the country, people believe that President Weah is still popular, and he's going to tomorrow he'll make a statement and send a message to the opposition and those who are competing against him that he will win this election. What can you say to that? Especially with the opposition response that we heard this week. Heard from Yombly from Liberty Party, heard from Cummings from ANC, someone from the UP, all trying to dismiss his Sona and so forth. So I don't know. Liberians are confused with all of this. What we're hearing, if Liberian voters trying to vote tomorrow, wonder with all of this. What I just said, how are we sure that this president will not be reelected?
Well, that is a political question, Tomlin, and the politicians will be best to answer it. They are the ones who are campaigning that he doesn't be elected. They are the ones who have their own programs. But as a Liberian citizen, a patriot, and an advocate, I have told the Liberian people, and I'd like to repeat it here, that they should not vote for Mr. Weah a second term. He doesn't deserve it. And in my conversation with a lot of seditionists and all of that, I asked them, why should the Liberian people give Mr. Weah a second term? So, and then the politics of the opposition is fractured, and so they cannot beat the incumbent and all of that. It doesn't come to play once we have the interests of Liberia at heart. Yes, politics people have to vote, they will vote, but Mr. Weah, President Weah, have had one term, and based upon his performance, it should be the basis for people gearing up for a second term elections. But we have a representative form of government, a Republican form of government in Liberia. We have the legislature that is supposed to exercise oversight. You made mention of the president going out of the country and overstaying, and he has returned and he has not been held accountable. While he was away, there was a budget issue that came about as to how much he's supposed to spend while he's away. Upon his return, those issues have not been raised. So that's why I said those are all political questions for the politicians. But as a keen observer and advocate, I tell the Liberian people, vote for any number of the opposition people. To date, we have about 4 of them. They are all professionals and potential technocrats. Liberian people should vote for any number of them. And given our experiences over the last 5 years and the experiences of this year, the CDC government, whatever it was, the coalition or what, doesn't deserve a second term. And as such, Liberian people should not vote for them. And I tell the Liberian people, I'm repeating that I cannot tell them which of those in opposition to vote for, but I can say don't vote. I can tell you who not to vote for. Don't vote for the CDC of Mr. Weah.
Thank you, Councillor Verdia, for your response to Tomlin George. I have a question for you. It's my turn now. Yesterday, we had Senator Prince Johnson on the show, and he spoke about President Weah stating he met a broke government, inherited a broke government. Do you have any thoughts on what Senator Johnson said?
Well, I will speak more to what Mr. Weah said, that he inherited a broke government. I don't know the economic variables that go into having a government being broke, but I do know the previous administration of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf left in our foreign reserve up to about $150 million, and that account was depleted no sooner than June of 2018. The account was empty. So indeed, Liberia's foreign reserve was up to the tune of $180 million. And there is evidence. We examined the audited report from the central bank. Indeed, that amount was there in the foreign reserve. and the CDC administration defeated it by June of 2018. And there are other things, economic variables that go into having a viable economy. When there are no economic activities, when the economy is not strong, we heard of the government saying they experience surpluses. And what I come to observe is that the model, the 1960 model of economic performance that was used in Liberia, basically based upon extraction out of that, is what people seem to be using now. And it doesn't truly reflect the reality of our situation in Liberia today. But be that as it may, I can confirm that indeed there was 150 million in the Liberia's foreign reserve that was depleted in a record time by the CDC government.
Thank you very much for that answer. My second question to you is relating to doing some comparison and contrasting between the WEA's government performance, as you said, is dismal, in my words. You saying that he didn't perform quite well, so you are asking Liberians not to vote for him. If you will compare his performance to your expectations of what do you think a leader of our country should perform in the best interest of Liberia, how would you do that, compare and contrast? Just briefly, I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah, I understand, but I would just focus on the priorities. If you notice what Liberia is, the rule of law is a major issue. And we have come out of a prolonged crisis. Reconciliation is also a major issue. And then it brings in the whole issue about the TRC. To date, not much has been done to consider the issue of reconciliation. And without justice, you cannot have peace. It will be difficult to have reconciliation. And the administration has ignored and played a deaf ear to the issue of justice. And underpinning the whole question of justice is the rule of law. The law has requirements, certain things that a government should do. For example, the president is supposed to report every quarterly on the status of the TRC report to the legislature. That has not happened, not even for once. And there's a law that requires that, so that law is being violated. Then we go forward with the question of audit. There's a reason why we do audit in government. It is meant to portray the government as being transparent and accountable. We heard that there was something called the consolidated account. We heard about COVID fund. Those funds were being audited by auditors who were killed almost just about the same time. In the space of about 2 or 3 months, they were all killed. And we haven't heard anything again about those audits. And it's important that a government is accountable. It is important that a government is transparent. It is important that a government upholds the tenets of good governance. And all of those are good governance tenets that our government has ignored. The government has promised repeated investigations into the killing of those auditors and other deaths that have occurred, and nothing has happened. So when it comes to good governance, we are not performing well at that. We are not displaying those tenets of good governance that hold governments accountable. And my expectations fell very short on those scores. The issue of justice is being ignored. The issue of rule of law is significantly ignored. And what this tells us is that we are heading towards conflict, violence, dispute, and disrespect for the rule of law.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to welcome Dr. Peabody to the show. I'm going to move on to Dr. Peabody now to ask his 2 questions.
Councilor Verdia, good to see you, and welcome to the Spoon Talk again. My question to you is, if we look around Liberia today, we talk about the CDC not leading, and you talk about people should not read like the CDC. But we have not seen an opposition that are together. We have not seen a united opposition. We always see here is the division, and Liberian people did not see. I mean, just recent in a court, and with Mr. Cummings, and and the bad blood that continued to fuel among the period opposition. How can Liberian people look to some group like that and say, "You guys can't even hold yourself together. Why should we even be trying to elect some of you guys to lead us?"
You got a good question, Dr. Peabody, and you laid a good premise. But I would tell you that elections are about the good of the country. My justification for voting the CDC should not be because the opposition is divided. If people perform, you reward them with a second term or another term. If people fail, you seek alternatives. And this is where Liberia should be. We should be seeking alternatives. If you do a casual survey of the political scene, you will see that opposition and our electoral process is making a progress. In the past, people had to choose the best of the worst of candidates. But now you have a pool of candidates to choose from who are all cannot be seen as worse, but professionals who have performed and distinguished themselves in their respective chosen fields. Whether it is Ambassador Borkai or Honorable Cummings or Councillor Tiawon Gonguro or whosoever in the opposition, the Liberian people have a choice. So the whole issue about elections is about choice. They should make a choice. And if they make a choice that they want to retain this government, it means that they are satisfied with the pains, with the suffering, with the killings, with the corruption, with the lack of adherence to the rule of law, and the failure of the government to even take one step towards the institution of the justice process that will address the protracted war and division that we had. That's a choice. But the choice should not be because the opposition is not united. If everybody vote for the opposition, of course, Mr. Weah will have no chance. If everybody vote for their own opposition, and everybody choose to vote for somebody within the opposition, definitely the incumbent will not have a chance. So that shouldn't be our cardinal issue, that the opposition is divided. Of course, people have disagreements, people have divergence of views, people perceive Liberia differently, in different from different backgrounds, different perspectives. So at a certain point, they will have disagreement. But the overwhelming issue should be Liberia. What is good for Liberia? What is best for Liberia? I think that's what should be the driving force for our country. Everybody should consider, as they go to vote, as they register to vote, what is best for Liberia? Should we remain where we are or want to try somebody else? And to get it right, we have to keep trying and try until we get the right set of leaders, until we have the right set of solutions for our country. I don't think the opposition have the best prescription, but the CDC doesn't even have a better prescription. And they had the opportunity for 6 years. And if they failed at 6 years, why would you want to give them a second chance? The best you can do is to try another person who have another approach, who have another idea. I heard Prince Johnson saying he voted the CDC because Mr. Weah was a superstar, and he thought that Mr. Weah would attract all of the international assistance. That's why he voted and supported them. But now that he has failed, he will not support him anymore. That's a fair assessment from his part. But it goes back to the Liberian people too. What did you expect from this CDC regime? Has it performed? Did it perform? Did it meet your expectation? And most of the time, they speak about, oh, we did roads, we did this and all of that. And I asked when they raised those questions, governments are run by programs and projects. It's not one person going to bed and waking up in the morning and say, oh, okay, let's build a park. Is a park a national program? Or is it a one-shot program? If it is a national development program, where would the next park be built? Where's the program that says a park will be built in Buchanan, will be built in Zwedru, or a park will be built in Lima County, for example? No. And the second issue that comes with all of what we hear as projects and development, all of that, the law provides for competitive bidding. How are these projects being executed? Were there public bidding processes? Who are being selected and how are they being selected to carry on these projects? Or they are just projects that are going on because it's a way of taking money out of the public treasury and using a means that seems to be legitimate. So yes, I think, and I want to encourage all of those who are in opposition, that is not the issue. The division is not the issue. People will always have different or divergence of ideas and approaches as to how to solve the Liberian situation. There's an American who met me and said, Counselor, you guys have to do something for your country. I said, why are you saying that? He said, we are tired with the Liberian project. We have tried one way or another, and it's not working. I said, well, maybe you guys have been using the wrong people or using the wrong approach. Liberia is a unique country of unique people. And the solutions for Liberia problems requires unique prescriptions as to how to reverse and turn things around. One jacket fits all doesn't normally work for Liberia. The jacket that works for other places may not work for Liberia because of some of the very peculiar things about our country. We are heavily endowed with resources, but our population is very small. And so resolving Liberia's issues is not difficult, but our people are just not thinking. So I think, Dr. Peabody, that's where the problem really is. It's not the opposition. Opposition doesn't have a problem. At the appropriate time, they will find a need to coalesce and work together to ensure that their greatest goal or objective will be achieved.
All right, Councilor, the issue of corruption, the issue of better life for the Liberian people, issue of opportunity for Liberians. No government have really solved that problem.
I agree.
Previous government, corruption have never changed. The life of the Liberian people have not changed. Other thing have it just been from one cycle to one cycle. So how can that be solved? I know we talk about, yes, maybe you need a new government, but some of the things we talk about, some of the things others say, nothing has changed. The last 15 years, there was still corruption. There was still, Liberian people were still living under the poverty line, all of that. So what's going to change it now? So, I mean, who's going to change it?
Change comes from all of us. We have to come together and decide what kind of country we want, what do we want best for our country. I take the legislature for example. And based upon what you have just said, which is basically true, that justifies why we should change governments. If one government comes and fails, that government should be changed. We try another set of technocrats or politicians who have a different prescription as to how to resolve the situation. We have indigenous resources and capacities that have not been tapped, and like you said, by successive governments. And you know why corruption continues? Because we overlook the rule of law, we overlook the issues of justice, and so there's so much impunity. The people in power today will steal because they believe the government of the past stole and was corrupt and nothing happened. That is why they will not venture to audit and hold those who were there, those office holders who were there before them, accountable. That's what has been happening. And the other thing about it and why we behave that way is that we are not very patriotic. We don't like our country, especially politicians and those who hold office. That is why we should hold them accountable all the time, in office and out of office. And this cycle of corruption and impunity has to stop. It is my hope that one of these leaders, when they are elected tomorrow, will stand up to do that. And that's why we keep emphasizing the TRC report, because there are elements of accountability and justice that are major components of the TRC report. And beyond that, there are recommendations in the TRC report, Dr. Peabody, that addresses all the issues that you have raised. Accountability, corruption, honor development, resource management, human resource development. The recommendations of the TRC are up to about what? 142 pieces of recommendations that address all the problems, some of which you have just mentioned. And prosecution is just one of those problems, the War on Economic Crimes Code. But the government has not taken their foot. And any government in this age and time that is not interested in the rule of law and justice doesn't mean well for the country. You give them 3, 4, 5 terms. Under those conditions, they will not make any difference in our country or the lives of its citizens.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councillor Verdia, for your well-detailed response. I just want to go on one more round of questioning. Panelists, I'd like to advise you to please keep your questions short and precise for the sake of time, so that we can get out of here and respect our viewers' time as well, and allow our guests to leave as well in a timely fashion. So at this point, we're going to go to you, Kev, for one more question, because I'm looking forward to going to the phone lines as well today. So please keep your question, and also Councillor Verdia, please just respond briefly as well. Thank you.
Okay,
Kev?
I got that. Thank you.
Let me just say, let me just put in that. Let me just ask this question that you're gonna answer them, since you said one. So I'm just gonna say so you can answer. I don't know if I will call you counselor, but let me ask this question. Quick. I just want to say one question, but it's just gonna 2 in 1. First, since you did not pass the bar exam in America, it is safe to call you a counselor, because I know you are not practicing in Liberia as in the recent year. It is safe to call you counselor because you were honest to say you failed the exam in America. And 2, you remember the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission, which you took part with Chris Smith, Alan White, and others in talking about war crime in Liberia. and you talk about Alan White was talking about um, Prince Johnson and comparing the case of Inga in Sierra Leone. So, I want you to answer both questions in one. If it's safe to call you a counselor since you failed the exam in America and you did not pass, and you're currently not practicing in Liberia. You've been in America for a couple of years now. If you're going to carry counselor, if it's
Okay.
safe.
Thank you.
I don't think. And to talk about the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission.
Thank you, Kev.
Now I remember the situation you're talking about, Kev, about the Tom Lantos Commission.
Thank
Okay,
you.
what is the question from there? You just poked my memory. I know now. I have an idea now. The situation you
Yeah,
had reference to.
thank you. So,
Okay, so the,
may I explain now, Dr. Richardson, because he seemed to recollect his
Actually,
memory
I
on.
want to give Councillor Verdia to
okay, to
answer.
answer the question.
Thank you.
Yes.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm hearing.
Reference.
Try to turn their device off because we're hearing echo in the background. Or delete your device. Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Verdia.
Okay, I don't remember the question he mentioned Ingonama and all of that. I really cannot remember, but now I remember that I attended the hearings.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask the moderator to permit me time to ask that question on the Tom Lantos Commission.
Okay, but there was a question you raised talking about whether I'm a counselor. I am counselor. I practice law in Liberia and a member of the Supreme Court bar. That's how I earned the title counselor. And I didn't intend to practice law in Liberia in the United States for security reasons. I know I opened a law firm when I was in Indiana because of the security threat. I had to close it, and since then I've not opened a law firm again.
But you took the
you don't have to pass the bar in America to practice law in America, to open a law firm in America.
I'm talking about practicing. You
come again?
In order to practice, right?
Come again?
Councillor,
you
can
took
you
the exam in order to practice.
Kev, we only have two questions, Kev. Your
But
first
you-
question, the councillor answered that question already. Your second question related to this committee, you want to specify or clarify your question so he can answer. He already answered your question.
Dr. Richardson, and if you permit me, I'll call you Professor Richardson because you earned it. You passed your exam, but in America. So I want to ask Councillor Jerome Verdia, because I don't know if it's safe to call him counselor, because he tried the exam and he failed it in America, and he admitted that he failed in America. Currently, he's not practicing in Liberia. He's been here for.
Okay, Kev Hassan, please let's go on to the question.
Counselor.
You're making a comment as opposed to speaking my question.
I'm asking him.
For the record, I did not have to pass an exam.
The man is a counselor. He's a counselor from Liberia. He practiced law in Liberia. So why are you asking him?
Why he's not practicing law
Okay,
in America?
what is your question, Kev Hassan, please? What is your question?
That's my question to him. My question to him. He currently.
I didn't come. Kev, let me cut you off.
But what I'm
Kev,
saying.
Kev, let me cut you off.
America, but he failed the exam in America.
Okay.
I'm asking if it's safe for me. I'm living in America to call me a counselor.
Thank
you can call me anyway, Kev. You can call me Mr. Jerome Verdia. You don't even have to say Mr. Call me any way you want to.
Okay.
I came to America not because I didn't want to live in Liberia. I was threatened and I ran away and came to America. Okay, and I don't intend. Listen to me. Listen to me. Be quiet. I gave you the chance. Okay, and I didn't come here because I couldn't practice law in Liberia. I was already a qualified member of the bar in Liberia before I came to the US. And I came to the US and decided to go to school. Going to school at a master's level doesn't qualify me. okay, to practice law in America, or if I want to practice law in America, I can do that. If you take the bar one point in time and you don't make it, you take the bar again. Okay, I don't know of your profession and whether you have taken the qualifying certificate or what. I'm already a qualified lawyer, and if you don't know, listen. I'm a qualified lawyer. I'm a counselor of law.
Not in America.
Okay, and I'm still here. I have that title and that qualification and that distinction
But
by
not
the
in
law in Liberia, by the Supreme Court of Liberia. You cannot challenge that.
Thank you.
Okay, if you want to,
You try
Thank you very
American.
much, Councillor Kev. We are going to
you
move
say what?
to Mr.
You think
Fagon.
it's a shame to take a bar? To take a bar one time and I don't pass?
Councillor, thank you so much for answering the question. I think you did very well to respond to the question. Thank you so much. I'd like to move on to Mr. Fagon right now to ask his one question. Thank you so much.
I waste my time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Fagon. Tomalin, you have your one question to go.
Yeah, Councillor Verdia, I know you will serve as President Salih appointed you chairman of the TRC, and up to date, the recommendations and from the TRC is yet to be implemented by I mean, President Salih, she did not implement it, and also we have not implemented either. My question is, there have been a lot of confusion behind this TRC report. So, I mean, I know two of your commissioners, I think Councillor Pearl Brown Boo and the late Kafumba Kone rejected. I think they voted against the other commissioners for the implementation of the recommendation. And since then, others have been saying that you guys, the commission did not you guys were not in uniformity to recommend for any stuff from your work. So, but to this date, do you think, with that in mind, with the two dissenting votes from your colleagues, as I mentioned earlier, do you think this TRS can be implemented by future government if they decide to implement it with what I just said concerning the dissenting votes from our late Kafuma Kone and Councillor Boo?
Certainly, it's just a question of political will. Implementing the recommendations are very, very good for our country. If we don't implement the recommendations, our country will remain in transition, because the recommendations are meant to address the conflict issues in Liberia and how Liberia can progress beyond transition into development. The commission had its own rules, and so what happened with two commissioners deciding not to sign for their personal reasons doesn't impact on the recommendations of the TRC. Under the rules, we made decisions by consensus. And if there is no consensus, we take a vote, and the majority vote carries it. And 2 out of 9 were not the majority. So the majority voted for all of the recommendations. And those two commissioners had issues of one or two persons who were mentioned on the prosecution list. And because Shika Fumakona, for example, didn't want the late Haji Kurman to be named in the way the report carried it, and so he said he wouldn't vote on that point. And Commissioner Brown Boo supported him to an extent. And so, but we told them to write their dissenting opinion so that it would be in the report for everybody to see. Those who wrote, if they had written, it would be there. I think Prayer Brown Boo wrote something, but I don't know whether it's there or it wasn't complete or something like that. So the majority of the commissioners passed the recommendations and adopted the report. They were the two who just didn't sign because of the reasons that they had. So it doesn't impact on the commission. Okay, the rules were followed and the commission's report was adopted by the majority of the commissioners. Yes, there wasn't consensus, but because there was not consensus, the solution for going on without consensus was to vote. And we did have a vote, and the two of them just didn't sign.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for the answer. It is my turn now to ask you a question. I'm not sure if you followed the show yesterday, Councillor Verdia, but yesterday Senator Johnson reported that he is being threatened by this government, something that you just expressed that you are familiar with, the threats of government. And today we see that the CPP and the Unity Party put out a statement expressing the seriousness of the threat against Senator Johnson. I'd like to ask, and they asked for the government, we are government, to investigate this threat. What are your thoughts on the government investigation of the threat against Senator Prince Johnson?
It's very, very important. If somebody as prominent as a senator can see that his life is threatened, and most likely threatened by elements of the government, I think any responsible government should take interest in it and have it investigated. But the government has a history of announcing investigations, and those investigations have never been completed. We have not seen results, we have not seen reports. But most people wouldn't think that the situation is grave, but we should always take issues of threats to life seriously. There was another member of the legislature, I think Representative Honorable Rosalind Swakoko Dennis,
Yes,
who reported that she was threatened.
correct.
And she made a lot of public disclosures about it. Unfortunately, the government didn't investigate. And now is the Honorable Prince Johnson himself who's reporting that there's been threat to his life. We should value life in our country and our governance. If anybody reports threat to their life, especially not by ordinary people where the police will be able to protect them, but threats to life by elements of government, it is very, very important. I think that should be investigated. And like you said, there were several threats to my life. And I was just the chairman of the TRC. I didn't raise a lot of alarm because I didn't want people who came to the TRC and testified to feel frightened. But there were several publications. The UN heard about it, they came. They spoke to me on several of the threats, and they said they were going to intervene with the government. But just when armed men show up at my office, I mean, that was the limit for me. It was time for me to leave, and that's how I left the country. I didn't come to the United States because I couldn't practice law in Liberia. I wanted to come and practice law in America. I had no plan of coming to live in the United States. But I've been here because of that security and insecurity. No Liberian citizen, whether big or small, should feel threatened or insecure in their own country. Incidences of that should always be taken seriously and investigated.
Thank you so much, Councillor Verdia. Dr. Peabody, you have one question, and then we're going to go back to Councillor Verdia to do his closing remarks before we say goodbye to the Liberian people.
Okay, Verda, what do you think going to happen with the TRC report since they have not been implemented? What do you think going to happen?
Oh, it's going to be implemented by a sound, patriotic, peace-loving Liberia, a Liberian leader who wants to see the people of Liberia implemented. Definitely will be implemented. It's a work that was done for the people of Liberia, and if one government doesn't implement it, it moves forward to the next government. That is why we should continue to have change in government. President said if they didn't implement it, it has come to the WIA government. If they don't do it, the next government after the WIA government will implement it. It's not going away. It's very necessary for our country. If I were a politician, my platform would be based upon the TRC recommendations, the TRC report. It has very salient recommendations in there on how to transform our country and how to address most of our structural problems that are confronting our nation. So yes, those recommendations will be implemented eventually. If WIA doesn't implement it, he's leaving. He's having his farewell already. There will be another president who will come and implement those recommendations.
Thank you very much, Councillor Verdia. It was just what a pleasure having you impart information to the Liberian people. I'd like to give you the opportunity to make your brief closing remark before we move on into some other discussions here on the platform. So please give us your closing remarks to the Liberian people, and thank you for being here again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. I think you have conducted so well, and I appreciate. I was looking forward to entertaining with Honorable Fagon, to engage with Honorable Fagon, but the situation was such that he did what he did, and I appreciate it. Dr. Peabody, thank you also. And speaking about myself, I took the bar in Liberia. I'm a practicing lawyer, a counselor of law in Liberia. And when I took the bar, I came a top of the several of us who took it. I think we were 18 or close to 19 or 20 that took the bar. I came first. And not only am I a thorough person, I went to college at the age of 17. I am an accountant. I got an accounting degree and I worked as an accountant before venturing into law. And I have distinguished my practice of law. I came to the United States at a threat to my life, not as a migrant looking for a job, but I just came for security. And whilst here, my family that I left home was threatened, so it was a troubling situation. And I stopped the bar and I was standing because I had registered. And not passing the bar doesn't stop me from not passing the bar in America. Doesn't stop me from becoming a lawyer. Doesn't take away the substance of the lawyer that I am. Okay, I respect and I honor that profession, and I've given my best to it. I don't understand the point that Mr. Kev Hassan was trying to raise. Unfortunately, he wasn't good enough in articulating what he wants to say. And that's why he couldn't make his point. Or he was bent on bringing me down as much as he wants to. He missed the point. But your platform is always good, and I'm glad that Minister Fagon have joined you all. And we look forward to availing to the Liberian people the information that we have at all point in times. But before I go, I'd just like to repeat, I tell the Liberian people, don't vote for George Weah. He came with promises, he failed. Even as a footballer, Liberia has fallen 16 points back in the FIFA's ranking. So if football in Liberia cannot improve under Mr. Weah, what else has he promised can he deliver? So thank you for the time and the audience, and I look forward to future engagements.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Verdia. Thank you again. Yes. So as Councillor Verdia leaves us, we are going to channel our program to having discussions about trending issues in the country. I know I apologize. I won't be opening the phone lines today. We're just going to go ahead and speak about trending issues or any reflections that we have relating to what we heard today. So I'm going to go back again and start with Kev. You have 2 minutes to discuss anything trending that is going on in the country. And then we're going to go on to Minister Fagon, and then we're going to go on to Tamale, and then Peabody, and then I'll have my own thoughts. So Kev, we'll go on to you.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Great moderating today. But let me say this. If you come on this platform portraying yourself, I think that he can call himself a counselor in Liberia. He's not currently practicing in Liberia. He's not living in Liberia. I think I think for a couple of years he been out of Liberia. Um, I will commend him for saying to the Liberian people today that he failed his bar exam. He tried and failed, so he's not a counselor in. Matter of fact, he's not a lawyer in America. He's ordinary. So because he live here for the dignity uh, of the platform, and I think he should be called Jerome Verdia or Mr. Verdia, because he's not a counselor. He's not practicing right now. He been out of Liberia. So, for presenting himself as a lawyer in America to the American people, I think uh, I think it's not it's not a good thing. So I want to lay that out, and I want to let Liberian people know today that Councillor Jerome Verdia has failed the exam, and he's not a lawyer in this country. But let me go on to what we were talking earlier.
Yes. So Kev, I just want to add that you have another minute to go. So
Thank you. Yeah, I will just make it short. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll just make it short. Tomorrow, I urge Liberians to tune in and witness the tsunami, the human tsunami, February 4th, and witness the nomination of the great leader of the CDC. When I say the CDC, it's not a Congress, it's a collusion for democratic change. Tomorrow, collaboration with other parties will be there tomorrow. If anybody doubts, you will see it tomorrow. If anybody want to run a propaganda mean lies, you will see it. You will see the truth tomorrow. So what I'm saying here, Dr. Richardson, that wake up tomorrow if you're in the west the East Coast, I mean, where I do live, 3, 4 o'clock a.m. and see what happened. The Honorable Natola Magi will be moving with thousands of people tomorrow, thousands of people from his residence. Tune in. And with the President George Manawia, you're going to see from all over, from Tomofad, Jefferson Koji, everybody going to move in. Akara's grave from District 8. You're going to see power. The people know that leader. And what you're going to see tomorrow, if you don't give up for this election, I will consider you as Baghdad Bob. Baghdad Bob was the guy in Baghdad that the Saddam Hussein was taken down, but they still feel that something happening.
You have 30 seconds.
Tomorrow, after tomorrow, if you're still arguing, your name is Baghdad Bob. And I will tell every Liberian tomorrow to call anybody after tomorrow.
Okay, Kev.
I will argue
I have to move on.
Baghdad Bob.
Thank you. Minister Fagon, your comments about what you heard and other trending issues that are going on. You have 2 minutes, Minister Fagon. It looks like Minister Fagon is busy right now, so we're gonna go on to Tomalin. Your thoughts?
Well, let me say this. But Kev, I sent you a message from your man Mike Zabates to check in. Mike Zabates said he's skipping the program tomorrow because you guys forgot about them. So read the message.
Yeah,
Man,
but my brother Mike Jabate will be fine tomorrow.
okay.
He will be fine.
I
Don't worry.
sent a
He will
message to
be
him. Sorry, the message he's not attending the program tomorrow. But
fine.
anyway,
Jabate is a good man. He will be fine tomorrow.
On a serious note, let me say this. I know I was listening to the program earlier on while I was at work. Look, even politics is almost like what's happening right now, almost like when you're aging. For instance, CDC they were young years ago, they were very young, and so at that time the momentum was there, everything was there, everybody was coming on board, but they're being in power now. So as a result, they have lost some steps. So the CDC you saw 2005 and 11 and perhaps 17, you won't see that CDC at this point. I mean, in 2020, 2023, because first of all, they have been tested, and along the way, they have some shortcomings there now. And so I don't know if a CDC they're arguing that they're still the same from 2005, 11, 17, then they're making a mistake. It's just not possible, and so. It is true. Like we were involved from 2005, 11. Look, there was no way people would tell you that citizens. I mean, well, the party was broke. We don't have money. So first of all, we don't have money at the time to even print print stuff. Citizens USA were collecting money and sending money to buy stuff from here and so forth. At the time, most of the people were sending money from there. They were not in government in Liberia. So if I remember, when Akara came up, we bought him the first laptop. We bought him that time for him to carry Liberia because he was secretary general of the party and he was doing a lot of job. So we bought a laptop for him, Citizens USA, and so forth. In fact, members used to come and just give support. And so it had that momentum. People would take that T-shirt and carry for printing, but nowadays that's not what's happening. So, and if somebody say CDC is poor asking for T-shirts, look, that means in Liberia, is that when it's not only associated with CDC. Tomorrow, ANC or UP doing the same program, the people run for T-shirt. The people love that country. The people love T-shirt. Look, to joke, when Liberia, I mean, y'all give me a spoon T-shirt. I mean, up to the people love T-shirt. Look, that country there for something about T-shirt, Benin. So you put that people had a picture on go there. They will fight for it. Look, so as a result, people will fight for T-shirt all over the place, and so right now. And t-shirt they print that beautiful t-shirt they print that. I mean, it's nice. So as a result, people want wear caps tomorrow and be up there. And especially they will have chew there and drink there. The band will be playing, the music will be playing. So CDC they will lock down the ATS tomorrow. There's no joke about it. People will converge at the ATS. They will come in numbers, they will converge there. Like somebody said earlier. So after that program now tomorrow finish. Tomorrow, come and say, I'm going to launch my own program too. You'll see the same thing will happen. And then Boga come again, the same thing. And I had a bit of our policy. Just to end, I feel sorry for our people because our people, they are the one who they're being used by the politicians, using them because honestly, in America, yeah, if you in election, yeah, if you're now a Democrat, you're wearing Republican t-shirt, you're going to the rally, you're not going there, the event. But because of the situation like bro now, people, especially this season, the next few months, the reason Peabody, Kev, and Eugene, the people will just be playing Tabata with the people there. Yeah. Anywhere you go, Tabata, they'll go there. And at the end of the day, election day now, the people will put the poll in Ziare Tule. That when they go to the ballot box and put yes, Ziare Tule. They'll show you. Now, if I'm a real Joe supporter, I'll go to all the rally there. Get my own for that. And I'll go on October 10.
30 seconds to Malan.
Okay, yeah, I'll make that vote. I'll cast that vote. So right now, if I were in any of the parties, only the messaging now. Engage the voters with the message that resonates with them. Talk to them. Say, look, convince them why they should vote for you. But right now, all we hear for now the election is T-shirt Benin, cap Benin, and they free rally. So That's my own thoughts on it so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. I want to go back to Minister Fakon. You were busy when I called your name, so please give us your 2-3 minutes. Oh, yeah, you are. Please give us your 2-3 minutes reflections, thoughts about current trend, and then we're just gonna do 1 minute on closing after we're all done, and then we're gonna go home. Honorable Fakon.
I tell a closing message already.
Oh well, we'll see. Let's go. Go ahead, Honorable Fakon.
Can you hear me?
No, yes, now we can hear you. Yes, please go ahead.
All right, folks. I'm doing my camera like this, and this is my closing. I just want you guys to look on the board. Don't look at me. Folks, when people talking and we talk about the Senator's Playbook, this is the map of Liberia, and I've zoomed each and every county in it. On the map of Liberia, if you look right here, this is Lofa County. If you see a blue, that means that's a CDC senator. If you see a red, that means that is the opposition senator. Folks, out of 30 senators, I'm going to scan the board for yourself to see. Out of 30 senators, 7 of them are blue. 23 of them are red, meaning the opposition has 23 senators there, as far as I'm concerned. Out of the 7 senators that's blue, watch me carefully. This is Lofa County. The mayor here, Jala, ran as an independent and he turned blue. In Cape Mount County, right here, Grand Cape Mount County, Simeon Taylor ran on ANC and he turned blue. Come down here. James Barney, NPP, turned blue. So of the 7 senators again, CDC only got 4 real senators. Of the 4 real senators, if you divide our country into east, west, north, and south, watch my state. I'm going across from here, straight across here. All of the senators are in the south. And so if you have 7 senators in the south, and you take 3 from there because
we have a minute, Minister Fakon. We have a minute left.
Kev spoke for 5 minutes. I just started. But anyway, I will take the 1 minute. Kev spoke from 6:25 to 6:30. Tony spoke from 6:30 to 6:35. When did I start? Just check the time. Go back to the clip. But that's okay. So again,
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm going to say this.
That's
Kev,
not
don't
true.
interrupt me. I'm
That's
not
not
speaking
true,
to
man.
you. Don't interrupt me. So, folks, I want you all to listen to this. If you can't win Lofa because of the senator there, if you can't win Bapolu because of the senators there, and I'm saying the places you don't have no senators.
That's good.
You don't have any senators here.
I'll tell you.
Come here to Nimba.
Hey guys,
you don't
please
have any senators there. You come here to River Cess. You don't have any senators there. You come here to Paso. You don't have any senators there. You come here to Magidi. You don't have any senators there. You come here to Bone. You don't have any senators there. My friend, the impact of the opposition senators will be felt. Why? Because senators do impact elections because the people elected them. So I will close by saying, if you don't have senators in Bapolu, all 2 is red. In Bong, all 2 is red. In Niba, all 2 is red. In Paso, all 2 is red. In Magidi, all 2 is red. In Riverses, all 2 is red. In River G, all 2 is red. You don't have anything. Folks, we've seen this playbook before. We've had the caps and the T-shirts. We've brought the crowd outside, and we brought the cow meat, and the people ate it. Don't be carried away by empty talk here. Empty talk don't work. It's all I have to say tonight. Tomorrow, you will see 25,000 people at most, but 10,000 going in the stadium, 5,000 will be outside. That's all you're going to get, and that's it, period.
Thank you very much, Minister Fakon, for abiding to the time. I'm going to say my...
Minister Fakon.
I'm going to say my thoughts right now, and then I'm going to go to Dr. Peabody. I want to speak to the Liberian.
But you see, Dr. Peabody, he baking care not to come meal.
I'm going to.
I told him Dr. Peabody wants to say a prayer.
I would like to speak to the Liberian people at this point. We have had conversations about T-shirts.
Kev Hassan,
you're interrupting me.
Sorry, Dr. Richardson. Sorry.
Thank you. We have had conversations about, exchanging your votes, your power to elect a government for rice, for a t-shirt, for money. Liberian people are talking to you. Do not do that, okay? When they bring a t-shirt, I will tell you to take it because we have established here that we like t-shirts. When they bring the money, because it will help us tomorrow to buy all this money, you take it, okay? But at the end of the day, I want you to think about tomorrow. I want you to think about somebody who will vote for a better healthcare service. When we talk about healthcare, we talk about medicine in the hospital, we talk about doctors in the hospital, we talk about people who will talk to you nicely, who will be trained to talk to you nicely, not yet at you when you go to the hospital. We're talking about people who will talk about creating jobs. Somebody who, like a president, will be able to sit down and be and worry about the Liberian people and say, I want to empower the business people, not let all the other people, the Chinese or the Indians or the other people that come to our country. Yes, they've been in our country, but it's when people, it's time for Liberian people to take ownership of our own country, to be in power. Okay, when we talk about a better leader, we talk about a leader who will make sure that our children get good education. They will not just sit in a classroom, anybody come and teach them. We need to revamp our system. So Liberians, my message to you guys, y'all be safe tomorrow. Y'all don't be in the street, because with you losing your life, it will worry me. It will worry a good person. So y'all be safe tomorrow. Y'all just think about our country, and that's what I have to say to you. Thank you for joining us today. Dr. Peabody, it's your turn.
Let me do my closing. It seems like Fagon is really prepared for this 2023 election. He finished buying here. It's a chalkboard.
I can't wait.
But gonna see this man. So who you win now?
My God, everybody chalkboard. Y'all eating my 1 minute.
You may not see this yet.
You're eating a man minute. You have to let Dr. Peabody.
But anyway, Dr. Richardson, I mean, it's always
Are you the citizen of Votica?
To have you moderate the show.
Well, you already tell.
Yeah, please allow Mr. Peabody to finish so we can end this. Thank you.
Dr. Richardson, look, you did an excellent job in keeping these rowdy young people in control. So you did a wonderful job. Thank you. It was a great show tonight. And let me say, Consider Verdia did practice law in Liberia. He took the bar test in Liberia. He's a counselor. But we're talking about the people, and people get vexed.
Hassan, please. Everybody.
Yeah, please. People say that I talk about Liberian people. Any election in Liberia will be a decision of the Liberian people. I don't care how we yell here, what we do here, it will be a decision of the Liberian people. Our people love t-shirt. In fact, y'all give me, I wish I could get one t-shirt from all the political parties. I need a UP, ANC, CDC, and all the t-shirt. Liberian people like t-shirt. One, they like food. So
tomorrow is Food Friday.
But let me say this. Let me say this. If they are successful in bringing that amount of people out, that even though some might be going for food and t-shirt, but that energizes the group. That energizes your party. So I think it helps when people see it. So I think that's a good strategy that any political party can go by. But I know Liberian people will show up tomorrow. That food will be there. Some liquor will be there. The music. And Liberian people will show up tomorrow. So, but I think it's good too, because it brings a lot of weight to your party. If they can generate that group, I mean, not everybody there will be there for t-shirts. Some of them are loyal, but it can also motivate or encourage other people to come and join the party. So we shouldn't take that lightly as well. That is my closing. I wish everybody a peaceful day. We pray that nobody get hurt and nobody die. We wish them peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to make a few announcements, program announcements for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mike Japatel will be joining us. He is not attending the program. He opposes the program.
Wow.
So he will be coming here to discuss to the Liberian people why he is not attending the program, and he's urging Liberians not to fall for T-shirts, rice, and money. My second announcement to you again is that the CPP, under the leadership of Hassan Bilati, and also the secretary wrote this, National Elosia Stowe, is expressing serious concerns over the statements made by the leadership of the Movement of Democratic and Reconstruction that the Liberian government is secretly planning to assassinate Senator Prince Johnson of Nima County because of criticism Senator Johnson made against the president of Liberia. The CPP views these statements as very serious and calls for the government of Liberia to launch an immediate probe to ascertain the veracity of the claims and to bring any perpetrator to justice. The CPP wishes to announce the government of Liberia that Senator Johnson, like any Liberian in general, and any political leader in particular, has the constitutional protected right to criticize the government and the president for bad governance without fear of secret assassination. The CPP calls on the government to ensure that Senator Johnson has adequate security and protection to guarantee his safety. That's my first announcement. The Unity Party also put out, is my understanding, a similar announcement. My second announcement is the National Elections Commission of Liberia will, on Saturday, February 4th, 2023, at 11 a.m., hear an oral argument into a class action filed by and on behalf of all Liberians living in the diaspora seeking the right to be registered while outside Liberia and to vote by absentee ballot. On November 4th, 2022, Ms. Jacindy Martin Quay, Dr. Francine Chenner Richardson, Mrs. Amanda Wright, and Mrs. Ella Louise Page, all of the United States of Liberia,
United States of Liberia.
I'm sorry, all of the United States of America, represented by the Public Interest Law and Advocacy Center, headed by Elosia Stowe and also Elu Kadi, filed a petition for themselves on behalf of these Liberians residing outside of Liberia against the National Elections Commission of Liberia. In the petition, it is stated that a prayer for an order directing and mandating the National Election Commission of Liberia to establish mechanisms and procedures to enable petitioners and all similarly situated Liberian citizens residing outside of Liberia to be registered overseas as voters in the places where they currently reside, and to enable them to vote overseas by absentee ballot, consistent with Article 80C of the 1986 Liberian Constitution. So that is the announcement that is happening right now. The NEC is supposed to meet and have a hearing tomorrow, but a petition was filed to allow Liberians in the diaspora to be able to vote, register to vote, and vote by absentee ballots. So I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Can you ask Tomali now about her announcement yesterday?
I got an announcement.
Today, Friday, the people of Sound.
Tomorrow again, once again, program note, Mac Japatel will be on the program tomorrow, just so you can join us here for the program. Tomali, your announcement, please.
Yes, tomorrow we'll have
Dr. Francis, ask the man now, the man said, I had a man right here, he run away.
Tomorrow,
Mr. Fago Wismore.
Tomorrow we have our guest panelist. He's a Liberian political activist, Sion Combrate, Dempster Yala. He was one of those who went to Better Yala, but he was imprisoned in Better Yala by President Doe when they were the author of the group they call React. Along with Ezekiel Pajibo, Larry Tokba, James Fomoya, and the late Christian Herbert. He's a former vice chairman of the University of Liberia Student Union. He'll be a guest panelist tomorrow on the show. The join us as a guest panelist. Man with a lot of political knowledge and so forth, and we'll have a good time with him tomorrow. So welcome him tomorrow, Dempster Yala, on the show tomorrow. And concerning Mike Tabate, yes, he will be here tomorrow to give the reason why he's a supporter of the president and also the CDC, but why he's not attending the program tomorrow, he'll come and explain to the people why and so forth. So tomorrow we'll have
your announcement last night, huh?
Look, let me 30 seconds. Look, Eugene, in politics, as I said last night, things can change by the minute, by the second. A lot can happen. No, but I mean, a lot can happen. So perhaps a lot happened over the last couple of hours.
I mean, I just messed with you brought the news.
No, I know, but I'll say things can happen anytime.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Minister Fagon. I want to thank you, Kef Hassan. I want to thank you. I want to thank you and our guests who were here today, our viewers and audience. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Continue to join us and share the show. We'll be back here tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good day. I'm signing. We are signing off right now.
Tomorrow CDC Day, Blue Day, CDC Day tomorrow, man. Y'all go check.
Happy birthday, CDC again.
Happy birthday,
I mean, somebody get an announcement and nobody sound today.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gerald Bachu.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, Gerald. The councilor now. She's councilor Gerald Bachu.
Tomlin.
And also,
Tomlin, your CDC that you know. You will see it tomorrow. The CDC that you know, that you were born in. And I want you to come tomorrow and say that the CDC that you know, you will see it tomorrow.
I told you that
tomorrow will be the Tomlin CDC.
Tomorrow will be 25,000. You want to post something there?
Thanks,
listen, I will listen to your tape last night, Fagon. I will listen to you.
No, you can listen to me. 25,000.
I wish you can go back to who you are.
Amen. You say the poor are going to sound today. When I see the poor sounding, we're not listening to
you. Wait tomorrow and see what happened, man.
You fool us.
Okay, folks, that's it. Join the team tomorrow at the same time when they hope to be here with another edition of the Spoon Talk. My name is Yekazi Joel, and I'd like to say good night to all of you.